Hey everyone, I'm Cosmic and welcome to the cloud. Let me just make sure everything is good. Okay. Yeah, so we're doing it. We're doing Return of the Mammalians. I do think this will still be fun, hopefully. I will try to not... I'm gonna be a bit of a hater, obviously, but... No, you're good. You're good. You don't have to worry about it. I enjoy streaming. I'm gonna try to be optimistic. I mean, we're gonna start with like the very beginning, right? We're gonna start with just Splatoon 3 and tutorial and stuff, and I do like things there. I'll definitely say, I mean, I like, this will be a good opportunity, because I can say all the things I do like about this campaign. We're probably not gonna get through all of it today. We'll see. Because it was kind of nice splitting up Octo expansion into 2 parts. And I would like to complete every single level, so. Hello gaming, welcome. Space Boy. Yeah, hopefully, I don't know. I don't want to like hurt anyone's feelings. For anyone who doesn't know, who happens to be joining the stream or watching the VOD, yeah. This is definitely by far my least favorite Splatoon campaign. I guess probably everyone here does know that. But, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So for some reason, I have to make a new user. Oh, can I not? Is this... Can you only have 8 max? I thought it was 10. We might have to delete a user. Okay, let me not, like, dox my IP address or something. Isn't there, like, there's some info that I think it's, like, bad to show if you show your Switch settings. Where's my... There we go. The story mode of all time, yeah. Hello, Sunny. Sorry to hear you've been stressed. I hope you start feeling better soon. Sorry, where are users? Delete. The delete user screen is so scary. I like, I've done it enough times where I've had to make a new account for something, but it always kind of freaks me out. Okay, here we go. We'll make a new thing. I know there's no audio, by the way. The audio is like weird and glitchy with my capture card. It's just easier to open it when I actually start the game. Don't ask me why. Sure, we'll be a Pikmin today. It does have music. Music is something I can definitely, compliment Alterna for. Okay. Yeah, 2. Why not? Okay, here, let me turn off that music. Actually, we will get to hear it in a second. I have not watched Invincible. Some of my friends are into it. I might watch it at some point, but I did not see it. So I know it's a bit quiet. Give me 1 second here. So yeah, this shot, obviously this was our first look at Splatoon 3 ever. It's kind of iconic. And I do really like this opening. So I'll say right off the bat, I was Team Order. So the whole like Mad Max desert aesthetic is something that I'm like not a massive fan of. It definitely grew on me, and like obviously it didn't really influence like that much of the game in the end. But even from the get-go, I'm like, you know, cautiously optimistic about this, because like I already didn't even totally love this. But it is really cool, and this character customization screen, I know to some people it's actually kind of annoying because every time you want to change your character you have to go through this whole like cutscene thing. But you know, for a first time playthrough, like it is really, really cool and like stylish the way they, you know, the way the character takes off the glasses and the hood and everything. Like I do really like this whole sequence. And obviously this fit is iconic. This was like the look of the Inkling. I do go pretty basic. Pants don't even matter once we get into story mode, but there we go. When Cosmic said Pikmin and Pikmin all over the place, yeah. This is the one I normally choose. I know this is a weird thing. Pineapple, please. Okay, I'm fine with going with pineapple because for anyone who doesn't know, for whatever reason, choosing a different small fry hairstyle manipulates the RNG in the Octavio fight. Like, this is like an actual speedrunning thing. Like, pineapple hair is optimal for playing the game because you get better RNG on the Octavio fight. I have no idea why, but that is a real thing. Yeah, and this run up. So yeah, this shot is like great. Cool. I do like that they make you look at little buddy too. I still hate that they lock you into place when they're teaching you the motion. I disagree with that decision. Where actually is that opening camera shot? Or is it just, oh, it's just this, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know where the very first shot is, but the second shot is here because there was the ink. Pineapple is optimal. Many are saying this, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I have thought a little bit about like all these like weird cars and stuff, cause like the Splatlands used to be an ocean. Like we know that because that's the Scorch Gorge lore is the reason there are like the rock pillars is because they were like hydrothermal vents, and then like all the water receded. So like I'm not sure if the implication is these are like human things or if they're just inkling things from a long time ago, because like realistically I don't think this stuff would survive 12,000 years, but you know, there are a number of things in Splatoon that probably shouldn't survive that long, and they do. So I don't know, I would say they're like definitely graffitied by inklings, like obviously like this stuff, but yeah, maybe a mix of both. Yeah, like once we get into the crater, maybe some of it is oh, you can actually see, I don't think I realized you could actually see like the start of the story mode from here. Like obviously you see the Eiffel Tower, but that's cool that you can see that little piece. I know in the Grand Festival venue, you could see this too. Where exactly is the Grand Fest venue? It's like, it's outside of the actual crater. It's like either like over there or like over there. I'm not 100% sure, but it's well actually no, because it's the train stop. I forgot, yeah, because we go to that same train stop, so it's at the end of the tutorial. Is like, so it's like here, I guess. I think they kind of terraformed some of this, maybe. I mean, well, the Nil statue isn't literally the Statue of Liberty. It's like its own thing. It's almost like a giant statue of David, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, that could be like maintained by Tartar. But yeah, I do enjoy, like, obviously I said during the Splatoon 2 stream, I do think that's like the best tutorial in terms of like the visuals. I really like it being like in the city, but like this has lots of its own cool details to take in, for sure. I think the Statue of Liberty is about that size, but it's not like, it's not made of stone, it's made of copper, which definitely would not survive 12,000 years. And I mean, it doesn't have the crown. It's definitely not the Statue of Liberty. It's similar. Like, I think it's an intentional, you know, parallel to it. But it's not literally it. I think we're gonna do 2 parts, yeah. I think that's for the best. I don't know how much I have to say about this. I know, like, the first time I still have the VOD up of my first time ever playing through this, for the test fire, and I was, like, freaking out at, like, the animations of, like, the Inklings turning with your, like, they lean when you turn each direction. I do like, I mean, the new models do look good. I have, I don't love the hair physics. I've gone on whole rants before in Discord about the hair physics. It looks okay with this hairstyle, but with some of the emotes and stuff, I do actually kind of like the more like fixed animations of Splatoon 2 hair better in a lot of instances. It's more of a problem I have with the Octolings, honestly. I think with this hair it looks pretty good, but yeah. Yeah, I don't have the full VOD. For that, I have the edited Let's Play. I basically have everything that I reacted to. What is the lucky part of the Octavio fight? It's just like whether or not he... I'm not 100%, but it's like sometimes he chooses to like jump to a different area, and sometimes he chooses to shoot a fist, and you get him to just shoot fists more consistently so that you can kill him faster. I mean, I don't even mind them looking limp. I mean, this is a whole other tangent that I don't know if we need to get into, but like with like the Splatoon 1 Inkling girl hair, it kind of like curves out and then back in, so it's like the whole kind of character silhouette like forms the shape of a squid, and then in Splatoon 3 they just hang like straight down, and I honestly just think it looks worse. With this hairstyle, I think it kind of works because it's like shorter, but yeah. I don't have much to say about the specific area, so I guess we can move on and get the music to be a little less repetitive. I do like, this is neat that we like get the weapon. I don't know if we're just like stealing someone's weapon, or if like Neo 3 left it here. I guess it's worth mentioning that, yeah, so like we're Neo Agent 3, who supposedly is a scavenger, who like loots stuff in the Splatlands. That's not really expanded upon much, and I think it was mostly just a justification for like the digging mechanic in Alterna. But it's kind of neat. Also, there's a shortcut here. I assume most of you know about this. It's kind of cool because you can either squid surge and then wall jump, or you can actually just wall jump. Oh, you're not bad at the game. Hang on. Why am I not getting this? Hello? I think my controller, okay, I normally get this first try, I swear to God. Okay, well, you know, this is a thing. You can, there we go. But like Splatoon 2's, I don't want to skip it because I want to look at all the details. But yes, there is a shortcut there, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this part's kind of lame. Like, it's just like this construction site. A lot less detailed to look at than like the Splatoon 2 tutorial. It's pretty much just a hallway. So, probably don't need to linger too much here. I do really love how blue the sky is. Like, I feel like that's it's a notable thing with the Splatoon 3 look. It's like the sky is a very like deep blue, and it contrasts really well with like the yellow ink and the rocks of the Splatlands. In a way, I think is cool. I see a space boy. Hope work goes well. I mean, there's some cool graffiti here at least. But yeah. Oh yeah, and the first mention of swim form instead of squid or octopus form, which was a surprisingly elegant way to get around that. I like the name swim form. I think that works. But yeah, music starts to evolve. Classic bomb tutorial. It tells you to surge here. I mean, it's faster to just mash B, but yeah. Onward to Splatsville, City of Chaos. Pretty sure that's the only time it's actually called that in game. I know they called it that in like the direct. Oh, there was like a glitch here, right? I don't know how to do it, so I'm not gonna be able to pull it off, but I'm pretty sure you could like dodge the cutscene trigger somehow and just like walk around in that area. I think people did that like during the test fire. I actually totally forgot about that until like right now. But yeah, pretty sure that's a thing. But yeah, then still squid roll and squid surge, which is a little weird. But yeah. This shot, of course. Still bugs me that we don't actually know what that tallest tower in Splatsville is called. Because like we had a Goblins Tower and Deca Tower, and then we just don't know what it is for Splatoon 3. Just the tower. I do love this weird fish dude too. Like obviously like with Octo expansion, I don't know, I like when there's just like a weird variety of sea creature people. Glenn Fiddler lives in that tower? I mean, he might. We will get to see Glenn Fiddler today. That's exciting. I do love that they brought back the Splatoon 1 drums, too. I wish they actually played every time you open the game, but, you know. Cool reference either way. So yeah, listen up, it's going down. I'm probably not, you know, this is news. We know this is news. We don't need to read this. Got some good news and some bad news. Which do you want to hear first? Good news, then I can pretend I didn't hear the bad news afterwards. Yeah, the lighting. We're gonna have to see the lighting. Oh yeah, they talk about the train station from side order. I forgot that happens. What's the bad news? Oh, it's literally just that, okay. So kind of weird that they talk about that first. Time for our next segment. Oh, this is still side order. Why did they talk about side order before Return of the Mammalians? That's kind of weird, is it not? Breaking news, hot off the press. Oh, you got something, big man? Let's hear it. This is my story to break. The great Zapfish is gone. It basically powers the whole city. We need it back soon or it's lights out. Time to conserve. Turn off lights and set the temp to a cool 90 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 32 degrees Celsius and it is not cool. Call us if you find the Zapfish. Just, yeah, call Deep Cut. Don't call, like... Are they, like, the acting police? I didn't really question that. I mean, I know it's the city of chaos. I wouldn't think you would go to Deep Cut, but maybe you would. Hello, Lunar. Happy late Valentine's, yeah. So yeah. I don't know why they made the Great Zapfish missing again. I feel like they just did that out of obligation. I wish it kind of, I don't know, it doesn't really add anything to the story and it barely gets acknowledged, so I kind of wish that wasn't a thing, but it is. Yeah. Splatsville. Hit up the, yeah, they just called the lobby. Again, they talk about the train station first. Okay, but yeah. You're new here, and I don't mean to alarm you, but the dude is seriously scoping you from the sewer. Whatever, it's fishy, but we'll get to that later. So where were we? Oh right, battles. Time to sink into the ink. If you want to get right to it, check out the lobby, or follow that weirdo down the sewer, up to you. Go get him, full splat ahead. I did not have my, no. I played Splatoon 1 last night, that was my Valentine's Day experience. Isopadre, that's a good answer, yeah, I wish. I mean, maybe not exactly, because I'm not into men or isopods, but you know, I would take that over no one. But yeah, okay. Also, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't feel that strongly about the whole table turf. Not, you know, it'd be nice if it had a warp. It is marked on the map, at least in the upper right. I don't know. But yeah, table turf a bit neglected. I know you can like see. I did this like the other day when I was super bored, because of course I did, but yeah, he's just like standing on nothing, which, like, you know, has always been the case, but we haven't really been able to properly see it until this game. But yeah. I never looked that closely at his ponytail. Is it? I don't like the way the like tie looks like it's like coming out of his head. that's a little weird. But yeah, I do like his like retired look. Not to men or isopods individually, but when you combine them, you know, maybe. I don't think, I'm pretty sure it's like his hair is tied up. Like I think that's, I hope that's not his skin. I hope that part is not his skin. That would be very gross. Also, his ears are like very like elven. Like most Inklings don't actually even really have like an indent. Because the ears are just supposed to look like squid fins. So like kind of, I know a lot of fan art adds like the little like ear indent to them, but like they're mostly like pretty flat. Like there's like a little bit of an indent. But yeah, there's many oddities with Cuttlefish in terms of like looking bony and having toenails and having ears that look like that. Which is interesting. I definitely think it's just a case of him like being designed as an old man first and as like a squid second. And we probably don't need to think that hard about it. But yeah. There you go. And of course, Small Fry shows up a bunch of places. I guess we can go ahead and hop in. Also, yeah, you have to hold down the button I get kind of why they did that, because it was easy to accidentally re-enter levels, but I do kind of prefer just tapping ZL. I don't know. That's a crazy nitpick though. That really doesn't matter. Level 1 in the Big 25, yeah. That's a cool shot too. I do love, like, as much as I don't like any of the, like, dialogue in this scene, like, the production value compared to Splatoon 1 is very cool to see. Like, it being a parallel is at least fun to just see how, you know, far the series has come. The Octarians are coming. Again. Oh, hi. Did we do this once before? The old noggin ain't what it used to be. Anyhow, the name's Cuttlefish, senior advisor to the new Squidbeak Splatoon, at your service. That look in your eye. It's the look I've been looking for. Like, look, we got depth of field, we got multiple camera angles, you know? But yeah, I hate that he just hates Octarians again. It really just feels like they completely abandoned everything with Octo Expansion. Because, like, even with it makes even less sense in Japanese. Like, I know, the localization added the, like, kind of, like, racism parallels where he's like, oh, I like Octolings now, but, like, in Japanese, he just always liked Octolings. Like, he was a lieutenant in the war, but, like, he always just wanted peace between the two species. And, like, supposedly in between the games, he and Agent 8 and Agent 3 were going out and, like, helping, you know, Octarians in need. And then he comes back here, and it's like one bad thing happens, and it's like, it's the Octarians. It's like, I don't know. Also, yeah, the fact that it doesn't acknowledge if you are an Octoling, it's just weird. it's just kind of bad writing, I feel like. Great Zapfish that powers Splatsville has been squid hunt. Also, why does he care? Like, I don't really get why he's here, right? Because, like, he's, you know, he watches over Inkopolis and Incadia. Like, they don't even really explain, like, why he's in Splatsville. Or, like, I mean, you know, you notice a great Zapfish missing in a major city. I guess that is, like, you know, notable. Hello, Natalie. But, like, I don't know. He kind of is just here. He's old, he got lost. I mean, I don't know. Well, I do, again, I like the newspaper flying in. It's the Octarians again. You can bet your bottom $10 on it. What do we got? There's the crab guy. We got anything interesting here? I don't know. I don't know if any of this is, like, translatable. It's probably gibberish. Doesn't look like anything too crazy there. Actually, wait a minute. Shoot. Zoom back out. Is that landmass like something we know? Maybe it's not. I thought it looked familiar for a second, but I'm not sure. I mean, like, yeah, you could justify it with, like, well, Octo Expansion was a DLC, but, like, they could have just had a different character, or they could have had, like, a better reason. Like, it doesn't really justify it. That's a bike? Oh, that is a bike. That's the delivery bike ad. Oh my god, you're right. I was looking at that wrong. Okay, thank you. What did you miss? I mean, not much. We just did the tutorial, if I can say words. Yeah, I mean, that might be their thing. I didn't read the text, I think, but whatever. I've been keeping an eye on them, even though I'm technically retired, and with eyes like these, there ain't much that escapes me. But they still made off with the great Zapfish. Now we've got to get it back, right? So, that was a job offer, kid. The pay is 0, but you might just save the world. You're in, right? Right? Of course you are. Starting today, you are Agent 3 of the new Squidbeak Splatoon. This is your brand new hero suit, and I hope you fight the Octarians. We still just get the, you know, instant transformation into other clothes, but at least we get a little animation with it. Huh? Is there such a thing as something growing in the wash? It's a little baggy on you. Funny, I don't remember ever washing it. That last Agent 3 was as clean as a catfish. So I guess this is a continuation of the localization exclusive smelly Agent 3 canon. The weird thing with the hand-me-downs thing is that they always call the suit a hand-me-down, but they always look different. So I don't know how that works, but whatever. Now let's go get those Octo Clowns. I'm counting on you, Buck. Oh, you've already got another agent there with you, huh? Well, I'm fresh out of hero suits, unfortunately. Ah, but it's a salty little scamp, ain't it? It'll do fine. Now, where was I? All right, let's go get those Octo Jerks. I'm counting on you, Bucko. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to think there was some secret other good story that, you know, got scrapped and they had to rush out this one instead, but like, I'm not sure, because they, you know, they seem confident enough in the stuff they do in this campaign. Also, yeah, it's really not saving the world. I mean, we can kind of justify that as, like, you know, inkling perspective, like, oh, if the Octarians are stealing Zapfish, they could get strong and take over. We gotta stop them right now. But, like, yeah, we're not really saving the world. So yeah, I mean, the crater looks pretty cool. I like that you can see the tower and everything. Like, there's lots of cool detail in this area, and obviously, like, looking down, it is visually impressive. Keep your ears open for my nuggets of wisdom, yeah. There's lots of books here. I never really looked at the... Is that like a super low-res Alterna logo on those books? Or am I making that up? Because he shouldn't know about Alterna yet, in theory. Like that there's a Zapfish plush back there. Yeah, this was the theme, or they used a similar theme during the character customization in the reveal trailer. Anyway, investigate. Take a gander at that. It's a portrait of the new Squid Week Splatoon's captain. Not a bad likeness, eh? The captain was Agent 3 before you were Agent 3. Agent 3, nothing complicated about it. That is a funny line. Even though it is complicated and stupid. But you know about the captain, right? Well, I suppose we were a secret squad, doing our heroing outside the public eye. How could you know? Of course. I knew it. The captain's a real celebrity. You know I used to be a captain, right? Never mind that. But how's that likeness looking? I'm only gonna do this so you can see all the dialogue. Well, it's a masterpiece. Thanks for the input, kiddo. Let me know when you want me to immortalize you. Oh, it could, maybe it was a deep cut logo? I don't know how much more sense that would make, but, yeah. It's not quite right. No? Well, that's no good. How's the captain look to your eye? I think some people might not even know that you can do this. Oh yeah, they're Octo Seal, yeah. You could re-customize the captain anytime you want here, if for anyone who didn't know. Also, it's funny that you can just tell the captain, like, actually they were a different gender than what you remember. And he's like, oh yeah, you're right. Voila, how we're looking? We're good. I knew the look in your eye would help me settle the look in my eye when it comes to this. Thanks, kiddo. They really like using that line. They added that? Really? I thought it was at launch, but maybe not. Yeah, I mean, it also, you know, it copies your, whatever you said in Octo Expansion. Like, it takes your Splatoon 2 data. But if for whatever reason you didn't use the same account, then, yeah, you can change it there. A little too much enemy ink flying around? Hide behind a wall. Ain't fancy, but I guess the job done. The fuzzy uses trouble. Don't touch it unless you want to spend the next 10 years shaving. When you're throwing small fry, hold down R and take your time. Know before you throw. If you're ever feeling discombobulated... Okay, I don't know why I'm reading all the tutorials. You eating well these days? Don't go into battle hungry, you hear? Go on now, give those Octarians a fresh coat of ink for me. Yeah, I wasn't sleeping. That was just tactical eyeball moistening. Okay, I have not seen that line. Oh, my Icken back. I went good for a fresh Krabby Cake right now. There's a lot of dialogue here. I can't wait. 3 need another Pearl of Wisdom? Okay. Also, okay, well, I kind of ruined it because I talked to him there and he did technically tell me about the fuzzy ooze, but if you die to the fuzzy ooze right away, he'll be like, I told you so, even before he tells you that it's bad. So. Mind the fuzzy ooze that's all over the place. Touch that stuff and who knows what'll happen. Alright, I know what'll happen. Floof, instant full body beard, whether you want it or not. I mean, yeah, I think it's just a video game logic thing, gaming, like, I can excuse it because it's cool to get to customize the character. So yeah, fuzzy ooze. I know some people do like it, like I've seen lots of, like, you know, fan art of, like, you know, you know, as it being like a disturbing thing of like transforming you into like a whole other species, and like it being this kind of like horrific thing, or just kind of like a cool sci-fi mechanic. It's just kind of weird to me. I don't know. I was never like, again, even if like Grizz was like a good character, like the fuzzy ooze stuff is just like strange. Like, I don't know. It's never been a thing I've really been super into. I've always just found it kind of odd. Oh, bye, Natalie. Hope you have fun. Okay. I'm not gonna read like all this because it's very just tutorial-esque. I just know there's lots of Cuttlefish dialogue that like most people have probably never seen, so it might be kind of worth checking out. This whole place could use a shave, or a shower, or whatever cleans up fuzzy ooze. I wonder how water would interact with fuzzy ooze. Yeah, it just kind of feels like less interesting sanitization. And yeah, like also like they just literally never acknowledge the mind control aspect of it at all. Also, yeah, it doesn't turn you into like the horrific creature, it just turns you into that. Which is like, okay, man. But yeah, I guess here we are. It'll take us right to them. Oh yeah, so they're not invisible anymore. You just shoot it off. Also, okay, these first few level titles kind of suck. I don't know. They were not cooking with these. Octarians in the crater? Yikes. Wow. I do like the intro with the like that text. Okay, I never actually noticed the UFO there, or maybe I did. Kind of forgot about those. That's interesting. I do like the CRTs. Like, this is definitely just like a weird abstract thing. I do like that it's like, you know, we're just in the crater and you can just see the sky. That's pretty cool, because that's kind of unique in terms of this type of Splatoon environment. But yeah, like, I don't really get what the crater is. Like, do Octarians... It doesn't look like Octarians live here. I don't really know why there are Octarians here. Like, I guess they're guarding Alterna for Mr. Grizz? Question mark? I guess that makes enough sense. But yeah. In terms of gameplay, I think this tutorial sucks a little bit. Like, it just... I've talked about this a lot in Splatoon 1, but it's like you just get into the action so fast. And it's just very quickly, it's like, okay, we're playing the game, we're learning the mechanics, we're fighting enemies, and this one is just like, it's just very slow. It's very, very slow. It's slower than Splatoon 2, and like, you know, yes, there would be, I feel like people always justify it with like, oh, well, there's going to be new players. It's like, okay, there were new players, like everyone was a new player in Splatoon 1, and that tutorial was fine. Like, everyone was a new, or not everyone, but a lot of people were new players in Splatoon 2. And the only new mechanic this introduced is Small Fry. And Small Fry is, again, you don't actually have to do this. So like, this is slower, like, to be fair. I know I could go through this faster, but while I'm speaking, I might as well do this. Small Fry as a mechanic is immensely disappointing to me, because it's just a bomb. It's just a bomb, but slower. I wanted Small Fry to be so much more interesting. When they said before launch, like you could use it to like solve puzzles or something, and there's like 2 levels in the entire game that I would say constitute as like using Small Fry to solve puzzles. Like, yeah, the game just doesn't use him. And like, again with the slowness, like you upgrade Small Fry at some point and he gets more damage, but like, I get why he's weak against enemies at the start, because that would be overpowered, but like, why am I just sitting here waiting for Small Fry to destroy a crate instead of just shooting a crate or throwing a bomb at it? It's just less fun than the normal gameplay. Like, I don't get the point of it. I don't get what they were intending to do here. And then we get this like huge dramatic cutscene for like one Octo Trooper. And it's like, dude, like, I mean, you could maybe argue this is like, you know, oh, it's like a mammal Octarian, so this is like a story moment, but all the dialogue is just like super tutorial-y and just feels like extremely handholdy. He's like telling you to hide behind a wall. It's like the first enemy in the game that takes 2 shots to die. Like, I just don't feel like it needs to be this easy. Like, even if you're a new player, I don't know, man. It's so just handholdy and slow and boring. And I am biased as a veteran, but it is Splatoon 3. It's a sequel on the same console as Splatoon 2. I just don't know why they felt like they had to go like so slow with it. Yeah, it treats you like you don't have any motor function. And like, yeah, motion controls are weird and hard for people to get used to, but I don't know, man. And then this is a whole other thing. The whole stream's gonna be a rant. I'm sorry, this is where it starts. After every level, Cuttlefish starts like yapping at you, and it just is all so boring. Like the gameplay or the story needed to be good here, right? Like it had to be one or the other, and it's neither. It's really boring, slow levels, and then he just being like, wow, you sure did beat that level. Good job, Agent 3. I'm going to talk to you for like 6 text boxes after every level for no reason and not tell you anything. It does get into nitpick territory, but the whole crater section is so slow, and there's so many tiny things that end up contributing to it just being really lame of an intro, in my opinion. Until we get to Octavio. Octavio is good. We'll get there. But yeah. Well done, Agent 3. You remind me of a young cuttlefish, heroically saving the day. Anyway, the good news is you got his Zapfish. They're a source of energy on their own, but the bad news is that the great Zapfish may be up ahead. Okay. I mean, that wasn't that bad. But then he starts talking about like the hero suit later on. It's like, okay, bro. I do think, so I think he mentions the tower. It's nice that you got your little buddy with you throughout all this. All this is over, maybe we gotta think about some security for the great Zapfish. Yeah, wow. Don't you... I'm pretty sure he talks about the tower. Oh yeah, you wonder about the upside down tower? That makes 2 of us, friend. Not that he, you know, gives us any insight about it, but he at least acknowledges it. Okay. Oh right, I plumb forgot all about this fuzzy ooze. And that blasted fuzzball is just wobbling back and forth taunting us. So your small fry buddy, you chirping about something? Also, this is like, huh? That species is rumored to have a big reaction to power eggs. Why don't you toss a few of them to the little scamp? So yeah, it's like, I still don't even really exactly, for some reason, giving small fry energy makes him able to eat a thing? I don't know. Look at that, it gobbled up ooze like it was nothing. That little monster has quite an appetite. Anyway, clear the path for you, go on. I mean, true. You don't know that that's upside down. I have my friend who's never played Splatoon before. I just feel like if you put your friend who's never played Splatoon before into the other tutorials, they would just learn faster. Like, I don't know. I am biased. I'm a person who's been playing video games for years. I've been playing Splatoon for years. I get it, but I just think there are more elegant ways to teach the player. I think like if all 4 of these crater levels were one level, I wouldn't have nearly as much of a problem with it. It's just the fact that you get like a tiny bit of gameplay, then a bunch of dialogue, then a tutorial, then walk forward, then a tiny bit of gameplay, then dialogue, tutorial, walk forward. Like it's just the pacing. It's not just the levels themselves, but it's just all together the pacing of the crater is just so bad, in my opinion. Again, I am making it worse by stopping and talking about it constantly. Yeah, loot anchor. We can talk more about this later, but yeah. I don't know. This is still just one of my least favorite stretches of any Splatoon game. Sink into the ink and swim. The view of the Eiffel Tower from Lemuria Hub matches the view of Vincent. Oh yeah. That is cool. So this one's like a little bit more of an actual level. Kinda. Yeah, I mean, I will say in their defense, this level is like a little bit, there's kind of a way to skip past the last section. Right, here's where I had, so, this game does the Metroid thing where, you have all your upgrades at the start, and then they take them away. So when I saw this sensor is the most useless thing in the world. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. The sensor kind of sucks. But I thought it was like a small fry thing. Because of all the things they yap about, they don't explain the sensor. So I remember seeing, I'm like, oh, all of these eggs are highlighted. I bet I can like throw small fry. And then nothing happens. Like, don't you think they could have like made small fry like go in a circle and collect them or something? Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's so many things they could have done with small fry, and he just doesn't do anything. and that was definitely a moment of like me being like actively disappointed. But yeah, like to, you know, credit where it's due. Like, okay, we can go like the faster route here. You know, obviously, you know, you're not gonna fall if you know how to play the game, and you're not gonna like drop into that ink. And then in this section, I don't know what like the best way is to go about it. I mean, it's not like, I wouldn't even call it a skip. You just ink this wall and go up here instead of going around. So it's like, you know, slight effort was made to, you know, expedite the process for people who know what they're doing. But, you know, you're saving like 10 seconds maybe. But yeah. I mean, it's not that you aren't supposed to ink the wall, I just think a new player would be like, oh, I'm gonna spiral around the tower on these dash tracks like I've been doing, whereas if you know what you're doing, you can ink the wall and it's slightly faster. I mean, a new player could notice that too. I'm just saying at least there's kind of technically options. I still think the level kind of sucks, to be clear, but you know, this one is already a significant step up from cutscene slowly panning onto a single enemy, you know? So, whatever. Nicely done, Agent 3. But did those Octarians look different? They used to be a little more smooth, if memory serves. Hey, I ain't one to judge a deadly tentacle creature by its cover. More power to him. But not really. So, like... This line is, like, funny, but also sucks. Because it's, like... You know... It's kind of like, it's weird on a few levels, because it's like an old man joke of like, hey, I'm not judging the youngins, they can look how they want, but then he just says, oh, but not really. And like, obviously it's like, yeah, because we're fighting them, but it's like, I don't know. That line annoys me on multiple levels. I don't like it. And then he just talks about the hero suit for some reason. Anyhow, as long as you're sporting that hero suit, you can stand up to any Octarian, bearded or not. Did you even read the label? Here, I'll do it for you. You're in the latest in apocalyptic survival fashion. Avoid enemies and navigate this violence and style with your own high-end sensor. Dry clean only. You gotta learn everything about your gear. That's another battle-tested rule of the battlefield. Like, who cares? I'm a lore guy, and I don't need him in between levels to be telling me like an advertisement for the hero suit. Like, I don't know. Again, very nitpicky, I understand, but like, I don't care. Not at this point in the game. Tell me that as like flavor text when I'm talking to you like 30 levels in, you know? Like, I don't know. Can't spell win without in, and you can't spell ink without in either, just saying. Okay, I think this is where the, anything interesting he might have to say potentially has run dry. Long way down, yeah. So, Fuzzy Ooze as a gameplay mechanic, I already said, you know, I don't really love it as a lore thing. I've gone on whole tangent, well, not even tangents, I mean, I made proper videos criticizing Fuzzy Ooze, but, here, they use it as an actual obstacle. And they kind of do, unlike some of the Alterna sites, where it's like, actually, like, you're meant to enter a place with Fuzzy Ooze and then get rid of it. But for so much of the game, it's just a thing you like delete and barely have to interact with. But we'll get there when we get there. I guess I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Yeah, like he talks about, I mean, he mentions the Octarians at least, but like he literally talks more about the hero suit than about the mammalian Octarians, like dude. I know there's some speedrun trick with this where you can like shoot, or You like throw small fry through the lockbox, I think. I don't know. I'm not gonna do it, but that's a thing. This level's fine. There's nothing wrong with this one. Again, if this was like glued to the other past 2 levels, I would be a lot kinder to these. Because there's actually some, you know, a tiny bit of cool design here. Like, you unlock a, you know, an ink rail on each side, then you use them to climb up. Like, that's fine. That's nice. I have nothing against this level, really, beyond it being detached from the other ones. And again, this is a good little level design thing. There's power eggs there, so the player's like, oh, I want to shoot these power eggs, and then you're gonna probably like accidentally end up shooting that ink rail. So I think that's clever tutorial design. I think that is well done, and I do like this little, you know, it's not much. I just it's a nice little piece of solid level design. Also, the CRTs are different. I guess I probably should have been looking at those. Sounds like glitching out. It's a neat look. I just wish we ever got an explanation for what any of this is. Enjoy the. I mean, there are lots of levels I like. To be clear, it's just the average level is not great, but like. There will be other levels for sure. I will say good things about. Yeah, why are Zapfish here? I have no idea. I am still in the crater. I'm yapping a bit, but it's also the game's fault. Anyway, keep it up, Junior. You're making me proud. Now, I don't want to ruffle your tentacles any further than they've already been ruffled, but those fuzzy Octarians are freaking me out. I think we ought to consider calling some backup. Okay, this part's good. Let me just fire up the old communicator. Check. This is Cuttlefish. Over. Do you copy? Agent 2 here, over. Wait, Gramps, is that you? Where are you? Agent 1, this is Agent 2. Gramps has wandered off again, over. Well, what are we waiting for, Agent 2? Let's go collect him. Roger that, stay fresh. They just hang up on me? Agents these days, am I right? So impatient. I do like the Callie and Marie dynamic, that part's fine. Cuddle, I found you. Dang, damn it, this whole thing is busted, oh well. Come on, let's go. I think next week is going to be part 2 of this Anti-Flow. We're probably going to be 2 parts. At this pace, we're 48 minutes in and in the crater, so yeah, probably going to be 2 parts. So I will say, I know what people like about the crater is the fact that it's like, you know, a bait and switch. It's like a parody of, you know, the first few Splatoon stories, and I like that angle. You know, if the subversion didn't end up sucking, it would have been good. Like, I do get what they're going for. Why are they bother putting an ink rail here? Like, I guess... No, because this wall is inkable. What is the point of that ink rail? That's really weird. I have no idea why anyone would backtrack there, and if you did, you could just ink the wall. Okay, odd. Too much hating for this to be a one-stream endeavor, yeah. That's another kind of nitpick I guess we can get into later. I kind of don't like how many of the rewards in this... It's one of those things where it's like, I sort of get that the Splatoon single players aren't necessarily designed to be replayable. At least not like literally from the very beginning. But I kind of dislike how many of the rewards in Return of the Mammalians are just things for multiplayer. Because, like, obviously on this account, I'm never playing multiplayer on this account ever. So, like, those rewards are just completely meaningless to me outside of pure completion. I kind of would prefer an Octo expansion. Technically, you know, you do get gear rewards, but I don't know. The gameplay loop of this game relies much more heavily on collectibles, so I sort of wish they were... I kind of wish the skill points, I guess, had more to do with the collectibles than just inking the ground. But I don't know. That's, you know, that's kind of its own thing. So again, I like this kind of design, right? Where you actually have to avoid the fuzzy ooze. We just don't see much of this after the crater throughout the entire game. I think about the S3 hero shot. It's fine. I probably like it more than the Splatoon 2 one, because I like that it's meant to look like 3D printer filament. I kind of like that better than it just being like a yellow P90. But Splatoon 1's is still the best in my opinion. This level's okay. A little generic by Splatoon standards. I mean, it's just moving platforms. But to be fair, Splatoon 1's third level is pretty much just moving platforms and Octotroopers, so, you know, credit where it's due. Splashdown tutorial, fair enough. Nothing wrong with this. It is kind of cool that you get a special gauge in this campaign. It doesn't really affect all that much. It just kind of makes the game slightly easier, I guess. But, you know, it's another ability you can use. It's cool to have a splashdown. Nothing wrong with it. I don't know. What's your official ranking of all the splatter shots? I made a tier list in my Q&A. So I don't remember exactly what it was, but you can find it there. Thanks, I'm missing one. What if you had 3? Yeah, it is weird that we just have a Splatoon 2 splashdown in this, and then triple splashdown in the multiplayer. As far as this song, I'll be honest, this is like my least favorite rendition of, you know... In my opinion, it literally gets worse with each game. It's, 8-Legged Advance is my favorite of, like, the starting songs, then Octo 8-Step, and then this one. Some people like it. The, you know, Dalai Lama, funny, but eh. I don't know. doesn't do much for me. On a roll. Nicely done, Agent 3. That ought to be the last kettle, but do you see anything else that looks fishy around here? Okay, so that was my crater yapping. I do actually quite like this part. Incoming! Someone's head this way fast! I do like that you can hear, like, the music from, like, the subwoofers. This mech is cool. So, like, I mean, this whole cutscene and boss fight feels so, like, high production value compared to, like, a lot of other things. I finally found you, Cuttlefish. My Octarian troops have gone missing, and I know you're behind it. I wish I could do it better. I know I'm not putting that much effort into the voices, but I don't have a good Octavio voice. RP blows, it's DJ Octavio. Up to your old tricks, eh? Give the great Zapfish back. Agent 3, this dirty DJ is the headliner of the entire Octarian army. Take him out. Quit spewing nonsense and listen up. I'm about to drop my latest hit right on your smug little face. So, I do like the Cuttlefish and Octavio dynamic. Old Man Yowie, yeah. And yeah, then we get, like, you know, the sandstorm, like, swirling around us. Like, this is really cool. And I, you know, despite it being, you know, another Octavio fight, I think it being a tutorial, it works and is actually kind of cool. It's kind of a cool spin on it. I kind of like this fight. Like, I think this fight does its job better than the Splatoon 2 final boss. Because if you're gonna do it, like, for a tutorial fight, I think this works much better than Splatoon 2's does as a final boss. His latest hit, it's his track that's existed for 9 years. Yeah, well, only 7 at the time, but yeah. But yeah, cool remix. Like, it's like a fan service moment while also introducing new players to the character in a way that makes sense, you know. Like, you know, in terms of the crater being a, like, a, you know, microcosm Splatoon 1, I think this part is done very well. Yeah, the thumbnail is, concept art from the art book. Oh yeah, so oh right. This is, yeah, and then yeah, this boss fight actually uses small fry. Would you look at that? The boss fight uses the new gimmick of the video game. Unlike all the rest of them, for some reason. I mean, okay, Grizz does. And Shivers does if you don't have a bomb, but it's kind of weird, and I would just rather use a bomb. So, yeah. I don't know why only 2 out of the 5 boss fights use small fry. I really feel like that was an obvious missed potential. Like, I don't know. Good game design jump scare, yeah. I mean, I have way too many other problems with this story besides the Octarian stuff. Like, I'm gonna say no. I like the order that things happened. Also, yeah, while in Splatoon 1 we could do the thing where he weirdly like magnetizes, but here he just launches towards it no matter what angle you're shooting him from. Oh, now you made me mad. And like the animations here, like I don't know, this boss fight feels like the like best one spectacle-wise to me in the entire game. Obviously Grizz has like more going on, but it's like weirder. I don't know. This is the best like looking. Well, okay, I mean, there's nothing really wrong with the deep cut boss fights besides the like broader story context not really making any sense. But I'm a fan of this one. They burned all the budget here. It kind of feels like that a little bit. But yeah. Also, if you let the slap attacks land, they use the shockwaves too, which is cool. The use of shockwaves, I think, is pretty clever. Like they got a lot out of those. Like they're the big shots in Salmon Run. It's the wave breaker. It's the slap attack here. I'll let it happen so you can see it. It's the Octo Stamp DXs or whatever they're called. No, it's not that. You know what they are. Amped Octo Stamps, that's what they're called. I don't know, they got a lot of mileage out of it. Yeah, the ink color, I actually noticed that before too. It's yeah, much more indigo, like bluish than the normal Octarian color. Every time, so sad. And I knew the story would be bad when he didn't say crossfade to black here, by the way. This is where it starts going bad. I also like that it like blows up. It's not like an ink explosion, it's like a fire explosion. I've definitely said that before, but yeah. I don't know, kinda cool. Maybe we're just pulling up. Oh, no fair. You're that's a weird line. Like, what do you mean your gear? Like, what? We used a fish. Put on a weak show, Octavio. Your set list is getting old. Or maybe it's just you. That's a bar. Seriously, that was too easy. It's like you weren't even using the Great Zapfish's power. You fool. I didn't steal the Great Zapfish this time. What? You didn't? But if it wasn't you, then who was it? So also, like, what the hell is going on here? Like, can Grizz just, like, fuzzy ooze bend? Like, he can just do that? Agent 3, help me, and then he grabs him with, like, a tentacle of it? Like, why is it a tentacle? Fuzzy ooze is never a tentacle any other time. And then, yeah, also, again, giant mech fell into the hole with us. That's a really cool shot of deep cut. I got spoiled, by the way, that they were bosses. I'm so mad, because that moment would have hit so much harder if it's like, wait, they're in the game. I mean, I guess we knew from their intro that they were in Alterna, but whatever. Regardless, this shot is cool. Credit where it's due, again. Cool opening here. I'm just wondering where the giant mech is that fell in here with us. Splatoon 3. Nintendo really likes their title drops in in the Switch era. I don't know, I feel like a lot more games have like they have the moment where the title actually appears on the screen. But yeah. So another, okay, a few things right away. I'm confused about where we fall in, because you see this hole here, but like we fell through a hatch, and at the end of the game, the rocket goes through a circular hole in the top of the dome that just isn't present anywhere except for that cutscene. So did we come through that hatch and it just seals and is perfectly flush with the top of the dome, or did we fall through this? I'm not sure. Watching my Grand Festival video and you decided me go against your brothers in a conch clash? Oh, that's cool. GG's, I don't remember who won, but yeah. And yeah, so like how, like the Squid Sisters are here. Did they come through the hole? Like, and again, Octo Expansion has kind of a similar issue, so I can't be too nitpicky here if I'm being fair, because I have no idea how Agent 8 gets from Octo Valley to the Deep Sea Metro. I don't know how they fell or when they got sanitized. So like, you know, this isn't the only Splatoon story with these kinds of problems. But it bothers me in both of them, so I will point them out. Hello. Hey. Agent 3, over here. Ooh, I'm so glad you're all right. You are Agent 3, right? Gramps fully enlisted you in your small fry? Yeah, I knew it. I see the look in your eyes that he's always looking for. Well, it's nice to meet you. I guess we should introduce ourselves. I'm Agent 1 of the new Squid Week Splatoon. Hey, I'm Agent 2. Come on, Agent 2, get pumped. Anyway, one last crew member to introduce. This is our captain. We're the new Squid Week Splatoon. They are still, yeah, like their dialogue is fun. I just wish they did anything. And yeah, the music is good. Ahem. Anyway, looks like you and Gramps got separated in that fall. This place is huge and it's filled with that horrible fuzzy ooze stuff. Now we have to find Gramps before he, like, tastes it or something. Oh, you make it sound like it's not gonna be fun. But seriously, please help us look for Gramps. So, oh, they're in. Probably just too excited about looking for someone else's grandpa to speak. So Gramps reeled in a new Agent 3. Glad to have you. Okay. This is, I'm not gonna read all this tutorial. It's called Alterna. They said we think this place is called Alterna. That's kind of interesting, because supposedly they can't read the script, so I'm not actually sure how they know that. But yeah. The islands are called sites, right? Humongous rocket. Oh yeah, tracking device on Cuttlefish is kind of funny. Oh, hello, Gooberling. Hope you get better soon. Callie's hair is a glow up. I like her hair, but I like her normal hair too, so okay. Yeah. So again, like, in terms of like the pacing, I already complained a lot about the crater. Then we had a really cool boss fight and a really cool cutscene. Okay, that's cool. Now, okay, this is kind of a lot of dialogue. And then the first level we get into is another tutorial. Which is like, okay, man. Yeah, and you know, it's like, I get that it's Splatoon and it is pretty lighthearted, but yeah, like, there's some things you wish they took a little more seriously, for sure. Do you have anything? Okay, I think she says that like the entire game. The sink or swim world out there, so be careful. There's a lot going on in the new Squid Week Splatoon. As salty as always? Yeah, so I mentioned this in the Octo Expansion stream, but yeah, like, again, the text boxes. Like, there's nothing wrong with the text boxes in this game, but like, am I wrong to just say they're just worse than the Octo Expansion ones? Like, they're smaller, so they can literally hold less text, which is an interesting choice. The icons just feel like more kind of generic and like, I don't know. I don't know. That's a nitpick, I guess, but yeah. Also, yeah, them being named Agent 3. The line that says you can hear the captain too, right, Agent 3? That's, I don't know that one. That's funny though. But yeah, so again, I think I talked about this before, but like in Octo Expansion, you know, Cuttlefish is like an old man. We don't even know if he can like use ink. So like, fair enough, he can't complete the test. Pearl and Marina are on Mount Nontide, just trying to help you, you know, get out of the Deep Sea Metro. So everyone is contributing about as much as they can. In Splatoon 2, I mean, Marie, I guess you could say Marie could be doing more, but she's like your mentor. She's like the guy in the chair. That's the thing with the Squid Sisters normally, is like they're like kind of like behind the scenes. They're like watching through like a camera and helping you out. But yeah, it's like if they're like here in person, and especially the captain, like, why aren't they doing things? I don't know. I don't really get why. Like, I guess they're here in person because like high production value, character models, fan service, but like then they just didn't come up with a story reason for them to like not do anything. So I don't know. Why isn't it just Agent 5? I think they just wanted to use the number 3, so they're like, oh well, if the old Agent 3 becomes the captain, then there's, you know, the slot of the 3rd agent is an open position, so we can make a new one. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of over the Neo 3 thing at this point. I don't care that much, but yeah, I wish they were called something else. Oh yeah, and we're back to the default. And this gun isn't nearly as bad as the Splatoon 2 one, thankfully, so at least, like, this doesn't kill the pacing of the game. But don't worry, the level design makes up for it. Here we go. Get to know Alterna, your only choice. Yeah, I think Cuttlefish can't use ink. Enter the slop. Oh, right, sorry. We have more tutorial. Okay. Oh yeah, so that's the Wii U startup sound, which is a pretty cool little Easter egg. And then the Splatfest fax machine sound, which is confusing. Ardnan actually had a cool theory. I don't know if you guys have watched that video, but I think Ardnan's Orca theory is pretty interesting. I don't like 100% agree with it, or necessarily think it's canon, but it's the only thing I've ever seen that tries to actually make sense of why that sound effect plays here, or like what Orca is, so I would recommend it. We're back in the building again. Yeah. My name is Orca. I'm what you might call a navigation system for Alterna citizens. And that's the only lore we ever get. So I'm gonna just mash through the rest of it. Also, yeah, Agent 3 just puts in their name as Agent 3, I guess. So yeah. We don't, like, I guess we know kind of what what Orca is. Like, Orca's a computer made by the humans to record their progress, which makes sense, because all of humankind just got wiped out except for them, so recording history is probably, you know, a higher priority than normal. But why do the tests exist? What is the Alterna Citizen program? Why does Orca give us Alterna's history for clearing tests? Why is there, like, inkfish technology inside of these? Like, you know, we just don't know anything. It just doesn't ever make sense. Yeah, I'm not totally... I always forget what the Japanese level names are like. They're like real estate? they're like advertisements more than... I think, or like kind of like slogans more than like... I don't even know what the direction is with the English ones. They're just kind of like weird sentences. Like, I don't even know what they were going for, to be honest. I guess they're advertisements? But yeah. I do like the ambiance here. You know, the nature sounds are interesting. Like, there is lots of really interesting stuff that you can read into in terms of the Alternans, like, you know, playing recordings of nature sounds is kind of, you know, like they couldn't experience nature. Like, for all they knew, all of these creatures that they're hearing are long dead. So it's like there is this kind of tragedy to it that I find really interesting. And I do think it's worth, like, thinking about that. I just wish, in terms of the test chambers, we had any idea what was actually going on here. But yeah. I mean, but what are the Fuzzy Octarians doing? Like, did they build these, like, obstacle courses? Like, I mean, and like, you know, yeah, it's weird that the normal Octarian domes are made of obstacle courses, but like, I just don't think the timeline... I think the thing that makes Kamaboko work is like, okay, Tartar has been around for thousands of years. It's probably been capturing Octarians for at least decades. Like, oh, you can actually hear the song loop. That's interesting. I just think it's a lot more like believable and, you know, logical that the test chambers in a Kamaboko could exist because he's had thousands of years to build them. Whereas here it's like, I mean, the news basically implies that the Great Zapfish was stolen like yesterday. And Octavio is like, my troops went missing, so I went looking for them. Like, this seems like a very short timeline of events. It seems like this just happened. So, I don't know, how does Grizz just capture an entire army overnight? You know, how do they build all these test chambers and fill them with ink mechanics overnight? Like, you know? Mr. Grizz made the levels, but why? But why would he do that? Yeah, why on earth, like... That's my whole thing, and so in my side order video, I actually have a whole tangent about this, but I mean, the whole problem with Return of the Mammalians, I think genuinely the biggest problem with the story, even more than like Grizz being a bear or any of the other things, is why did Grizz capture Cuttlefish? Grizz has no reason to capture Cuttlefish, and that is the inciting event of the plot. Like, the Squidbeak Splatoon, Captain Cuttlefish, Callie and Marie, Neo Ag 3, they would not have gotten involved with anything that happens in the story if Cuttlefish did not get captured. Right? Because, I mean, like, maybe, you know, so Octavio's mech crashes into Alterna. Right? But, like, would the Squidbeak Splatoon... Like, our entire goal is capturing Cuttlefish. Like, what would we be doing in Alterna if we weren't saving Cuttlefish? Would there be any reason to do that? Like... But then, like, Grizz doesn't gain anything from capturing Cuttlefish. So it's like, I think that was the problem. I think they're like, we need a reason for the characters to go to Alterna and explore it. But they, like, Grizz can already, we just saw when he captured the mech, he can already manipulate ink, he can move around, he can talk. Like, what does he gain when he dehydrates Cuttlefish? That's my biggest problem with the story, is like, that is the inciting event of the plot that happens at the start of the game. It's like a reveal at the climax of the story is like, oh no, Grizz captured, or Grizz dehydrated Cuttlefish. But it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything for the character arcs. It doesn't contribute to the themes of the game. It doesn't explain the plot. It just doesn't make any sense. And it just, that's my absolute biggest problem with the story. And I can never get over that specifically. I'm not entirely opposed to the idea that Alterna is an Octarian colony, but then, like, Octavio doesn't know about it, so that doesn't make sense. Like, he says his troops went missing. If they were in Alterna, they wouldn't be missing if it was an Octarian colony. And I mean, like, if it was, like, a distinct thing from Octavio, I don't, that just doesn't work out in my mind. But anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and start. I do like that it's like a decontainment, like, clean room. That is, you know, neat. I guess. And visually this level, it's not great, but, you know, the skybox here, I get what they're going for. And I'm gonna actually bring up some concept art in a minute, but I won't show it here. But yeah. So, going back to ranting about gameplay, well, also aesthetics, but mostly gameplay. I don't know why this level exists. Genuinely no clue why this level exists. It's basically a way to reintroduce you to all of the mechanics of Splatoon. I'd like to say if you're a new player, it's like, oh, these are things that were in past Splatoon games, these are mechanics you're going to see across the whole game. But the thing is, almost all of these get reintroduced later on in their own distinct levels, and the characters explain what they are, and the levels are designed around like tutorializing and explaining the mechanics to the player and then evolving them. So this level just doesn't really serve any purpose in the grander scheme of the video game. Like, you could say it's to explain Alterna, but like any level that had, you know, a decontamination, you know, thing at the beginning and a goal at the end of the level could have filled that role. So, I mean, this one really more than anything feels like it's just a waste of time. Like, you can argue the crater is a tutorial, but like this is just, these are all things that get their own tutorials later and that feel more fitting there. Like, I've never played a platformer that just like spoils all of its mechanics in the first level. It's just really weird. I don't know. It's a genuinely kind of baffling decision. I don't get what this level is. And again, like with the crater already starting as slow as it does, like, I keep missing those rings, but whatever. I don't know. I just really strongly dislike this level. Yeah, I wouldn't say Alterna isn't chaotic. I feel like people got way too into the idea that, like, you know, chaos is Mad Max and order is Cyberpunk. But like, yeah, this is definitely chaotic. Sorry, I just took a big sip of water after that rant. I need some of that. Okay, Alterna logs. I believe the Alterna logs unlock with every kettle you clear. So I'm probably just gonna go one side at a time, and we can read those as we get them. Okay, that's a random line. I like Callie, but she doesn't have much to say here. So loot anchors. I don't know if I can say much about these. It's interesting. Oh, that's a scroll. I don't quite get what they are. Like, I mean, every game. Oh my god, voice crack. Geez. Every game has the problem of the scrolls not making a whole lot of sense. Oh, they're totally meant to look like time capsules. You're actually right. That actually makes so much sense. Well, it kind of makes sense. It makes sense as like things that would be in Alterna. Actually, you're totally right. They're totally time capsules. Okay. Actually, that's kind of cool. I actually kind of like them in that case. This is one of the Nothing Burger scrolls that's just, you know, saying that the city exists. Okay, which... okay. I do like the loading screen being like the map of Alterna. That's pretty cool. I feel like I gotta throw out some compliments here and there. As opposed to Octo Expansion, where I tend to go with the recommended, I feel like way too many levels in this game just use the hero shot anyway, so I'll try to use other levels when I got the opportunity. Ugh is not a good sign. Yeah, this one's... So, okay, I'm gonna talk about it here. So, in the art book, right, there is this page, which shows, I think this is like what they were going for, right? Brutalism, okay, which is cool, and I love this concept art where they have like these mega structures, these like, you know, concrete like mazes that like go off into the distance and have like the light coming through. But I don't feel like that was executed in the game. It's just, I mean, the lighting really, I think maybe could have sold it. But yeah, it's just so far away. Like, I think if the levels were designed where you're like going through these mega structures right? Or you're like, you know, climbing, if you're inking these stone pillars and you're going like, you know, I don't know. I feel like they just didn't deliver on what they were trying to go for. And I respect it so much more after seeing the concept art, but it's just, I don't know, man. I don't feel that vibe in the final game. I also don't really know what these are. So this is another issue, is these background elements get reused so much more than Octo Expansion. Like just random like pieces of architecture. I mean, this on its own looks really cool. And you know, I like the like vibes of what they're going for with it. I just feel like it's thematically so much weaker than like Octo Expansion's like nostalgia, you know, stuff, where it's like, I don't know, it's just kind of concrete. And then here we definitely get into the issue that we talked about in Splatoon 1, where, you know, Splatoon 1 has floating platforms, but they kind of try and like contextualize it a little bit as like an environment. But here it's like, it's the Mario Maker problem, where we just have blocks. And like, I wouldn't even say, these fences I feel like are here for gameplay reasons. Like, I wouldn't even really count this much as a decoration. Like, and the green blocks, I almost would justify a little bit, because it's like, okay, well, those are at least meant to look like Mario Maker, right? Like, this is like, okay, we're in this, you know, construction, we're in a test chamber, we're in a design, like, canonically, like, designed challenge. So I get what they're going for with them, but yeah, the use of them is just really bland. And it just, I don't know. The levels just start looking really ugly and samey, in my opinion. Also, once again, like, this is not ever said to explicitly be an Octarian place. Like, supposedly these test chambers were made by or for humans. Like, Orca refers to us as a citizen, and there are songs in the soundtrack titled, like, Alterna's Citizen Program. So, like, there was some kind of, like, you know, regardless of Octarian influence, there was some kind of human, like, testing facility here. And we never know why, and I don't, and why is it floating? And why does it look like this? Like, it just, this context we are given for the story does not align with the visuals at all. Portal 2 if it looked bad, yeah. I haven't talked at all about the gameplay in this stage, really. It's interesting that they reworked octopods. There's a secret here, by the way. I believe there's one on the other side, too. I mean, like, I can accept that the Octarians had influence, but again, it's just the timeline that is suggested is not long enough for me to really believe that the Octarians could just build these massive floating structures. And again, that has the issue of, like, we don't actually get any lore really about why the Octarians are obeying Mr. Grizz. Like, because, like, there's literally nothing. Like, I think there was external stuff. I think there was, like, a tweet that talked about Fuzzy Ooze that said, when you get touched by Fuzzy Ooze, you turn into a fuzzball and you lose your sense of self. But losing your sense of self is not the same as being mind-controlled by someone. It's just losing your sense of self. Like, with sanitization, they explicitly said, like, you know, you lost your sense of self, and then your thoughts were replaced with the will of Kamaboko and Commander Tardar. But, like, I think there's genuinely not a single source for Splatoon 3 that says that the Octarians are controlled by Grizz. They are just his minions, and we don't know why. Also, that is a massive blurry texture right in the player's face. That just looks bad. That just looks straight up bad. I mean, that's not even like an art design. I mean, it's a bit of an art design decision, or art direction, but I mean, that's just ugly. I mean, like, yeah, like he makes the mammals and he's a mammal, but like there's no logic beyond that. Like I don't know. God, I'm ranting this much per level. This is gonna take a while. Okay, I wanted to talk about this because like the first time I read this level title, it did something to my brain in a good way. I don't know how to describe it, but I read like, what caused the Big Bang? You. And I just had like this weird moment of like feeling like empowered. Like it's such a weird thing to describe. I don't understand. Like, I don't know. It did something weird to my brain. I was feeling weird things. It was a new Splatoon single player and I was like, yeah. But the level sucks. The level is like, at least it looks kind of nice. Like, I like the weird, like, error message thing, I guess, and, like, the background is cool. Again, it just gets really abstract in a way that feels like it shouldn't be. Like, I don't know, Splatoon 1 levels were abstract, but it was like, okay, but it's like octopus stuff, at least, for the most part. Or at least when it was like the carnival level, it's like an octopus carnival or something that like almost kind of made sense to be an Octarian dome. Whereas a lot of the stuff in Alterna is just like, I mean, maybe it's just kind of supposed to be like modern art or like abstract. I mean, like, you know, we have like the brutalism thing. I don't know. The song has Zelda's Lullaby in it, does it? Oh, sorry, that was really loud. My stick drift is bad and I'm blowing into my controller. I don't know if the mic picked that up. Anyway, I hope it won't take 11 parts. Also, let's see if we can get a tied world record. I think the world record on this is 2 seconds, and it's like the easiest one to get a tie on, because you just have to literally go in and shoot one thing. Okay, did not tie world record. Oh my god. Oh. I actually forgot this was like even a one-shot thing. Okay. I actually died on the level. That's kind of embarrassing. But yeah. It's just a worse version of one-shot station from Octo Expansion. Like, and again, like, I can kind of, you know, on one hand, I'm like, okay, well, this might be the first time someone ever used a charger in Splatoon. It's a tutorial level. It's just asking you to aim at a target. I guess that's fair. But then I look at Octo Canyon, and its first charger level was a whole level that, like, you know, taught you about grapplings and Octo Zeppelins and evolved those mechanics, and is like one of the best levels in Octo Canyon. And this one is just, you know, one shot, and that's it. It's like, it's not like terrible. I just think it's worse. That's my whole thing with Alterna. It's like, it's fine. It's not a bad game. I just genuinely think it's worse than all the other ones. And I will give you many exhibits, exhibit A through Z on this stream. But yeah. Like Blaster for this one. Oh god, this is another. Like, when I do look into the background, I don't know, like, I think if like a couple of levels looked like this, I wouldn't be against it. It's just how many levels have watery, you know, the water covering the floor, gray dome, and it's just like, you know, I just wish it wasn't so in the distance. If it felt like we were like actually in the stuff in the background, it would be fine. But it's like, you know, you look at like, it's just, this level's just a straight line, and it kind of drives me insane. I don't know. This level is so boring to me. Like, and the gameplay is like, I don't know. I guess this is a gimmick of the enemies flipping out of the ground, but it's like, you know, I like this there's a little fun bit of design there. Like, okay, yeah. I get what they're going for. It's just like, I mean, okay. This feels not nearly as creative as so many other levels in the series, I feel. Yeah, no, if they were going for the modern art angle, I definitely... There's a couple of levels that I think have some really cool abstract stuff that actually works. I think it's like the curling bomb level has like the airplane with like all of the like triangles. Some of you probably know what I'm talking about, and we'll get there. Like for sure, when the levels look good, I will compliment it. One shot, you don't really get a good look at the background, so it's kind of hard to say, but or not. It's not one shot station, you know what I mean? The charger one we just did. But yeah, there are for sure good looking levels. There's one of the rail levels that looks really, really great in my opinion. This level, it's like fun. It's fine. I don't know. That level is one of the ones I'm like really conflicted on because it's like I just think it's really uncreative and kind of bland, but like it is kind of fun. Like it kind of works. I just wish they did more with it. And yeah, small fry is a mechanic. I kind of forgot. I guess we're doing all the levels, so I might as well clear this stuff. So, I mean, this is an instance where it's like, okay. You can walk through here, and like, I guess this is gameplay. But also, you can just do this. I mean, this isn't even the best example, because this one, like, there's like actually an opportunity to maybe actually touch the fuzzy ooze. But then you get to like a place like this, where it's like, okay, I want to climb this wall. And to climb this wall, I have to press the right stick, I have to press the right bumper. Like, there was just no chance of me touching the fuzzy ooze. I don't know. It's, maybe it's really nitpicky to some people, but it's so disappointing to me as a mechanic. I just think it's really lame that that's all that happens. It's just you delete the obstacle and then you don't have to avoid it anymore. At least that one, you know, if they put an afro on the moai. That's like the only visual gag they like ever do with fuzzy ooze, which is kind of crazy. Hello, sanitized boy. Okay, this is a good level. It does feel a little bit, you know, like the Octo expansion level where you have to dodge stuff, but it's its own thing. It's its own thing. Credit where it's due. This one's pretty good. And our first look at the skybox. Oh, here, I can show some concept art. There are some concepts for, it's like Megaopolis, I believe it's referred to. There's some other stuff I wanted to talk about too. Actually, okay, I'll hold off on the concepts for a bit because there's a bunch I wanted to show at once. The hardest level for you, really? I think this one's good. It was never hard for me. The fact that you don't die in one hit. I think compared to the Octo expansion one, the fact that you don't die in one hit in this one is like, it makes it easy. So yeah, I mean, I will talk about it a bit later, but like, yes, the city skybox looks really cool. And on some level, I can just appreciate that it looks cool. But also, why is there a giant city? How does that fit into the story or make any sense? Like, is that Alterna? Is that where the humans lived? Or did they live in the dome? Like, I don't really fully understand. It just kind of feels like too big of like a setting to not ever acknowledge. Okay, there we go. You want to see me suffer? I mean, probably not in this game, but these levels are all pretty easy to me. Yeah, at least it does look pretty. And Megaopolis is a city the size of a planet. I mean, that is what it looks like, but obviously I don't think that's literally the case. But, I mean, that's interesting. I didn't know that's, like, what the term specifically meant. So... I guess I'm going to be, like, 1000%ing this. I don't want to have to do the thing where I, like, shoot the whole map. But... Actually, there's no reason I have to do that. Okay, I'm gonna beat all the kettles. I'm not gonna bother to clear the map again, because there's literally no reason to do that. I've barely watched Return of the Mammalians speedruns. I know there is some cool stuff with like fuzzy ooze skips. And like splashdown and stuff. I don't know. I mean, if you're a speedrunner and you enjoy it, that's valid. I'm speaking as someone who just, you know, plays the games casually, just a lot. I mean, this is kind of just another Nothing Burger one. I guess it's kind of interesting. Live wild, live free. We do whatever we want. This town is a melting pot, so let's stir things up. I'm tired of folks pretending to be cool. I want to get so fired up that I boil over. Oh hey, that's almost like, that kind of feels in line with the Rassicus special theory. But, I guess I could mention that the cool, like, parallax effects on the scrolls is nice. A little extra bit of detail. Most of the scrolls in this game are, like, pretty boring, unfortunately, so we didn't really get a whole lot with that effect. Why is that ooze even? Okay. But yeah. Wait. I think have I ranted about this before? I think I've ranted about this before. You spend 100 eggs to destroy fuzzy ooze and find 100 eggs. This entire thing is pointless. Why is this here? What? Why? I forgot about that. That's okay. Sure, game. Here we go. Okay, this is actual lore. Oh, you didn't know you could do that? Yeah, it's motion controls. Okay, so this is actual lore, but unfortunately it's lore I kind of don't like. Cause, well, okay, so there's a lot to talk about here, actually. So, long ago, our splatted lands were almost washed away by a great flood. All was presumed lost, until 3 lights appeared and united to consume the disaster. Thankful for their salvation, the townsfolk threw a festival with 3 portable shrines as a tribute. So, first of all, I think the wording here is pretty significantly different in Japanese. So, okay, the Great Flood, supposedly this is the same Great Flood that caused the Great Turf War, right? Which, you know, so, like, I think it makes sense that in the Splatlands, the Inkling Octarian conflict didn't happen because they, you know, they solved the issue of the flood. I don't know how much this is implied versus just, like, common fan theory. I really like the idea that the Alterna hatch, like, opened up and the water drained into Alterna, which explains why our Alterna is filled with water and also how the flood went away. But I'm not sure what that has to do with the 3 clans, and I don't really know why this ends up becoming, like, a prophecy thing. So, yeah. Always thought the random abstract buildings of architecture... I don't know that manga, but okay, that's kind of interesting to think about. It's almost like Orca was like AI generating like human architecture. I kind of like that idea. I wish there was a proper explanation, but that's an interesting way to think about it. I don't know if that's exactly what you meant, but that's kind of how I interpreted it. They appeared by chance and took the credit. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. But it's also interesting. I low-key forgot about this in my video, my, like, what will Splatoon 4 be about video. I was like, we can learn the origin of Splatfest, but, like, I guess this is the origin of Splatfest, at least in the Splatlands. Which also confuses things because I don't really get who... Like, they say Deep Cut was, you know, kind of has been, like, hosting Splatfest in the Splatlands for generations ever since... you know, supposedly the flood from 100 years ago. But they get Splatfest themes from the fax machine. So, like, did they always get the Splatfest themes from the fax machine? Because then why was it in Ingopolis for, like, 5 years? And why were they not doing it in Splatsville there? That, like, I don't really understand how they, you know, like, why did Splatfest stop being held in Inkopolis, or stop being held in Splatsville, and then Inkopolis, and then I don't know. I wish that made more sense. But yeah, I guess we'll talk about that a bit more. Oh hey, a fun level. So I still wish this level looked a little better, but it's okay. It's not bad. It's, you know, I can't really hate too much on these because they're fun. And this is the first instance of this background with, like, the you know, the lanterns. I don't really know what they were cooking with the skybox. Why is it so blurry, actually? Am I crazy? Is that, like, low res? Like, for sure, compared to, like, the space skyboxes of Splatoon 2, I feel like that kind of just looks worse. But, I mean, okay. I do like this. I don't know, there's clever design here. Zipcaster levels are definitely good. And the song is funny. I don't know. I don't, like, love the song, to be completely honest, but you know. I feel like being a hater for these levels would just, you know, that just really be being a hater. I don't need to hate on these. They're good. Also, always slightly, I don't know. This is not a nitpick with the game. I don't get people calling it the Spider-Man special. I mean, I know the jokes, the dialogue they make in the game basically is referencing Spider-Man, or at least a superhero, but it's more of like a grapple hook than a Spider-Man, because you don't swing. You, like, just, like, zip to the location, but whatever. Do, 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 do. I mean, I don't really want to bother clearing ooze that I don't have to, but will I know when I have all the kettles? Figure it out. Oh, I guess I have to get the, like, challenge balloons, because those drop scrolls, right? I think they do. Oh. Yeah, it's more like a hook shot or claw shot. I mean, I just think of it as a grapple hook. Okay, well, that triggers the deep cut cutscene. Right, there's cut off there, okay. Oh, also this one right here. I guess I'll do this. So also, I always thought it was weird. Apparently the gold levels are like the normal levels, and the silver ones are the challenge ones. That always felt backwards to me. Also, the difficulty increase is really not noticeable, so... Try doing the cuts. I think it's already too late for the cutscene skip, isn't it? Because I just did that? Or no, it's not. Because that was the other pile of fuzzy ooze. I'm not gonna, I don't know. I'm not really good enough to do random speedrun skips. I haven't practiced. This level. I don't know, dude. The gold ones don't have a fee? Which, I mean, I guess? I don't know. I just feel like gold and silver was a weird, you know, they could have been any other colors. I'm gonna say I don't really like this level, but I don't know why. It's like, there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just like, eh. Like, I like that it's more kind of like navigation based. I almost wonder, I don't, because I like the song. I was gonna say like if it's just a vibes thing. Like, I don't know. I don't think I have like a valid reason to hate this. I think it's just kind of, I don't like the aesthetic. And something. So I don't know. There are a few levels where I'm almost like, I have to stop and think, like, if this was an Octo expansion, would I like this level? Like, am I just biased against this whole game? And this might be one of those where I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just... all the Splatoon test booths had people stuck on this level? Yeah, I guess, I mean, it took me a little bit to figure out the first time, but... I think there's nothing up there. I think I've done this before. I'm like, this looks like a really good place for a secret, and then there's just nothing there. Yeah. Like, isn't that weird? Like, not a power egg pack or anything? I don't know. That always felt odd to me. I do like this song a lot. I don't, like, Alterna music is good. I just think it's not... it doesn't provide the atmosphere. Some of them do. Some of them do for sure. I don't know. Like, it's not even a thing where I think it's on par, if not better, than... like, if being fully unbiased, it is probably on par, if not better, than Octo Valley and Canyon, in terms of, like, just the normal level music. But... it just feels less, like, cohesive. I think Octo Expansion definitely beats it for me, just for having more of, like, a consistent theme. I love this part, though. This just reminds me of that one after Alterna section. See, like, I just feel like this almost looks like something. I appreciate the pipes. I actually didn't notice those. Okay, there's, like, you know, support structures. There's, like, some implication of, like, you know, actual structure here. But I just, like, this could have looked like a skyscraper or something, you know? Like, and I mean, Octo Expansion maybe wouldn't have done that either. So, I'm not just, you know, not all of my criticism is like, this one sucks compared to the other ones. It's like, just what I want to see from Splatoon in the future, I guess. So, you know, I think that is a solid level. I think it's a solid level, but I wish visually it looked better. I mean, you know, there being a reason for it being inconsistent doesn't make it not inconsistent, though. I don't know. I wouldn't say that it being Octoplush really justifies it for me. Also, yeah, I haven't got any upgrades yet. I probably will, because I'm not really trying to play this game for any longer than I have to. Well, that's a lie, obviously, but, you know, I might as well get through the levels easily. Is that scroll 1? It is. Greater Angopolis and the Splatlands have wildly different methods of serving up clam mochi. Oh, right. Oh my god. Sorry. I thought this was interesting for a second. You know, I like the idea of... I think this is just a way to acknowledge, you know, Angopolis versus the Splatlands, like, having cultural differences and stuff, but, like, yeah, I don't care about clam. Yeah, I'm not Gooberling. How long? Okay, it's been almost 2 hours and we're on Site 1. I mean, I do think things will probably speed up a little bit as we get further in, I would hope. I do like the gold records. I didn't mention that before. That's a very cool way to do the evolution of the music. I actually really do like the gold records. I've gotten so used to them as just like video essay music, it's weird to hear the transitions in-game. Cosmic cooking stream? I don't know about that. Oh, here, I missed one. Oh, this is the... oh, no, I think that's the small fry level. Oh, this is this one. I don't know. This level exists. It's fine. It's different, at least. I think this is our first good look at like this aesthetic. Okay, you know, here I might show the art book stuff I wanted to. Hang on. I need to get to the right page really quick. Okay. Sorry, I need to like so there's some like this is the level concept stuff. Here's the brutalism page that we talked about earlier. And then we get into so I had to look up what this was because this is in Japanese. It says brutalism in English, but the book is in Japanese. This one was not localized. So there's this thing called Komorabi? Komorabi. I might be pronouncing that weird, but it's like a word for like sunlight filtering through like trees, basically. Like here we go. Like so this you can see it in game like right there. So like this was definitely realized better. I think there could be a bit more contrast for sure. But you know, yeah, the idea of sunlight filtering through and like having this like dynamic lighting and these weird like twisting structures are definitely interesting. Like, ooh, okay, yeah, like this. I just wish there's more contrast. I do think there's better examples of this in the game. There are some levels that definitely have more of these things kind of worked in better. But yeah, you know, again, like respect where it's due. These ones look pretty cool, and I definitely. Oh, okay, yeah, this is like the big structure here. I like what they were going for with this. I think, you know, again, it's still very abstract in a way that I like. I just think there was a lot of stuff with Alterna they could have explored. Like, I think that's what sort of bothers me is like, I don't feel like if it all tied back together in a way that made sense in like the conclusion. Because again, like Octo Expansion, you have this like synthwave aesthetic, you have vaporwave music, you know, it's this very like, you know, 80s, 90s, but also kind of like Y2K reflection on the 80s, like, you know, aesthetic. So ending with, you know, a final boss that is both emblematic of, you know, the death of humanity, by having this like corrupted, you know, kind of Statue of Liberty parody, while also serving as a reference to, you know, like Floral Shop. Obviously, I talked about this on the last stream. I just think that's entirely genius and incredible. And then in this game, it's like, I just wish the aesthetics were consistent. Where, okay, like if we were doing weird Mad Max animal, like fur, you know, like type of stuff, or if we were doing the like lost human race brutalism modern art angle, I don't think there's, maybe there's potential for overlap there, but I don't think the game finds it. You know, and I feel like we're just kind of flipping between these two different ideas without them ever really coalescing into a proper like identity that, you know, feels like one thing. So I guess that's kind of my issue, is like sometimes the levels look good in the sense of like they're pretty, but it just doesn't tell a story in the same way Octo Expansion did, and even to some extent, you know, the first two games. I guess that's my main issue with it. The level's fine. It's fun. It's a gimmick. I was talking more about the aesthetics, so I kind of didn't mention any of that, but yeah. Okay, so I think we've saved, in my opinion, the best for last, kind of on accident. But this is like the one regular level in the game that actually uses small fry. Yeah, I mean, because like there's something there. There's something there with the idea of like this bear, or at least, you know, this creature from the past world. Like, I think you could have told a very distinct story from Tartar, where it is tragic that this character has, you know, outlived anyone like it, and that it's kind of just stuck in this alien world. But I just, and tying that into Alterna and the tragedy of, you know, the people that lived here, it just doesn't. I think there was potential. I think there was potential to make it work, even with Mr. Grizz. As much as I didn't want him to be the villain of this campaign, I think they could have made it work at least a little better than they did. But I just feel like they don't fully tie it together. He should have been a tardigrade. Yeah, but that wouldn't have saved his writing though entirely. But yeah, I think this level's great. This level is, hey, you don't have a weapon, use small fry. And while that instance is like, okay, that's just like a bomb though, this is actually unique. It's like, oh, it moves with each hit, so it's actually different than just using any other sub-weapon. And they actually do like unique platforming with it, and it's like, wow, they actually are using the new mechanic that the video game introduced. This will not happen again until literally the escape sequence, or the rocket, you know, the rocket levels. A tardigrade is a sea bear, is its like common name. It's like, actually, I'm not exactly sure what it is. Is it like a little parasite thing? They look really weird, but the joke would have been that he's a sea bear. Oh, this puzzle's like actually really cool too. This, like, genuinely, I so wish we got more of these. These could have been like, well, not, I was gonna call them like the 8-ball level of Return of the Mammalians. I guess that wouldn't really be a good comparison, but yeah, like, look at that. Like, that's so cool. Like, you align the things with small fry. It actually relies on like your timing of the right bumper press. Like, it's just so weird to me that they only did this like one time. Because I wouldn't even call, like, I'm trying to think if there's like a level I'm forgetting. I feel like it's literally just this and then like the escape sequence, or like the stealth section in the rocket levels. That isn't even a stealth section. But there it's just like you throw him out of flutter and the flutter stops working. You know, it's like there's kind of a puzzle with like the ink wheel. Like, this is the only time they really use this kind of mechanic. And this is like really unique platforming for Splatoon. Like, there generally were not levels like this in any other Splatoon campaign. I don't get why they only did it once. There could have been so many more of these and they would have been great. So I don't know. But then he wouldn't be a mammal. Well, yeah, but like, I mean, the whole story would have to be different. Him being a tardigrade would not solve the story. It's just, it would have been a better reveal, I think, than him being a bear. I don't know. I mean, you would have to rewrite the whole thing, so. You know, alternate universe scenario. I think there are 10 kettles on Site 1. I think we've done everything. Kind of wish I told you, but fair enough. Okay, before we do... Okay, I'll tell you what. I have to go to the bathroom, but we can do the deep cut cutscene first. There is a cutscene skip here. I don't really know how to do it. Oh, no, I messed it up. I don't know how to do it. Whatever. Yeah, I didn't read those lines. Oops. I was looking at chat. I'm not supposed to be anything. But I'll tell you who we are. So yeah. Deep Cut's fine. I mean, I don't think they were written well in this story. This cutscene is fun. I do like this cutscene a lot, actually. I just wish they did anything after this. We are Deep Cut. Deep Cut from the Anarchy Splatcast thing? Yeah, it's called a day job. You should look into it. So, it is a little weird, too, that they're, like, celebrities, but they, like, banned it. Like, I know they give their money to the poor, but, like, I don't know. I guess that's enough of an explanation. No, the I love them is fine. I like that. I like this cutscene a lot. This is like my favorite Deep Cut thing at all. I guess I'm not reading it, so maybe I'm not. That's not showing. But yeah, Shivers like evil laugh here. This cutscene is great. Also, just the animation and everything. We were talking about like production value. Like I do think like there is a noticeable step up. Octo expansion cutscenes are pretty solid, but like. That's what kills me with this campaign, is the cutscenes are animated really, really well. It's just the contents of them. But yeah, also this is a neat detail, the human handprints. I do really like this. Again, like, I love the, like, tragedy of Alterna, and I just wish they did more with it, and I wish it wasn't in this story. But, like, yeah, this is, like... I mean, that's really cool seeing that. Yeah, okay, I have to really quickly run to the bathroom. I'll be back in just 1 second. Hello, I'm back. Oh, hi, Space Boy. Don't worry, I'm here. Yeah, so, I don't know. Recites today? Oh, you know what? We can check the archive. That's how I can know I've done all the kettles. Okay, oh, I haven't. I missed one there. I noticed it earlier, and then I still missed it. Okay, we'll do that. And then we will... How long has it been? 2 hours? It'd be nice to do like 3 sites today and 3 sites next stream, I guess, but if it ends up taking too long, I might cut us off at 2, because we did do the crater. Yeah, like I don't think Deep Cut is the problem. I think it's everything else in the story that's the problem. And trying to fit Deep Cut into it. Because they just don't, there's just no place for them. Like, they don't have anything to do with mammals or Squidbeak or the Octarians or, you know, they just don't matter to everything else that's going on. This level's pretty good. This is a solid Charger introduction, or not Charger, wait a minute, Stringer introduction level. don't know if I would say it's on par with, like, some of the Octo Canyon levels that introduce new weapons, to be honest. I feel like people generally don't like those, but I don't know. Some of them, again, the dually one is great, the charger one is great. I do think this level looks pretty cool. Again, with that that style with the light coming through. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind, I guess it is weird that it wants you to tap fire, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's weird that they just say you can charge it here. Like, I feel like you would have figured that out. Charging it is more intuitive than tap firing it, so it's kind of weird the way they introduce it, but I don't know. Yeah, Spaceboy, I just went on a whole a whole talk about, yeah, they don't do much for me either, but I'm trying to appreciate the ones that at least look nice. Yeah, so I mean, it's very combat focused, which I guess makes sense. I don't really know what... I mean, I feel like with the explosions, there's probably some kind of stringer platforming challenge they could have come up with, but... I don't know. Nothing really wrong with this stage. Oh, actually, this part's really cool. This is really clever. I actually really do like this. Well, I like it when it works. Sometimes it's a little jank. The idea is they see you, so then they don't see the explosions. It worked on those other guys. There we go. Okay. I feel like it's always a little finicky, but it's a cool idea. Yeah, the story would be better if the Squid Sisters were not here. So then, and then Deep Cut probably could have had. I mean, but even then, my idea to, like, you know, if we're shifting around characters, I think Cuttlefish and Octavio should have been the mentor characters. That's what I've said in the past and what I'm sticking with. But yeah, I do think Deep Cut also maybe could have taken the role. What are my thoughts on Orca? I mean, we just barely know anything about Orca, so I wish we knew more, because it's barely a character, and I don't understand why it tells us Alterna's history. That was kind of a waste. I guess I should just be, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna clear out most of the fuzzy ooze by playing all the levels anyway, so... that was another instance of clearing out ooze just to get eggs. Like, I feel like this gameplay loop is just... like, what is the point? I don't get it. You use eggs to get eggs. I've heard the idea of them being hired by Grizz, but I don't know if that really... I don't know. Like, they don't... I'm not really under the impression they work for people. They're like vigilante bandits. They're not like hitmen. Like, I don't really personally love the idea of that. Gameplay loop is just invest capitalism. But you don't get more out of it. That's what I'm saying. There was like that one spot where it's like pay 100 eggs to get 100 eggs. You're just even by the end of it. Hello, Squid Soup. Honestly, I just think they should have done... I don't know. I mean, I get wanting the new characters to be in the base story mode, but I, like, the Splatoon 2 method of having the old characters in the base story mode and then the new characters in the DLC worked pretty well. So I feel like they could have just had... Again, I don't think the Squid Sisters even need to be here. I think it could have been Cuttlefish, Octavio, and Grizz. And none of them are there, and then the DLC could have had Deep Cut. Not that I don't like side order, but I don't know. The second side has a lot going on, doesn't it? Oh, Agent 3. I'm getting a strong reading from way up there. Could be Grams. Let's go check it out. So, this is probably my favorite site in terms of, like, the actual gameplay in the overworld. Because that's a thing I very heavily criticized with Alterna, is a lot of the overworlds are just kind of like flat circles with ooze on them. And this one, like, actually has some you know, platforming going on. It's not really as involved still as, like, Octo Canyon, but I'll take it. I think the ooze actually kind of does work here as an obstacle. I like this one. The levels I don't remember. Oh, this level is bad. Wait, so sorry. Wait, I remember, when I was going through doing the level ranking, for some reason, the first level of every site is garbage. Like, genuinely, like, my bottom 10 Splatoon levels ever, I think the first level of every Alterna site is one of them. I don't know why, because there's other Alterna levels that I do enjoy, but it's always the first level of the site is just complete ass. I don't know why. It's the easiest level to find is always just terrible. I couldn't tell you why it is that way, but it is. I mean, this one's fine. This one isn't, like, bad. No, actually, this one does suck. Sorry. Okay, I'm very... Let me explain why this level sucks. It's like 2 seconds long. This level, this is a whole... Okay, I think this is a really good example, because this is important. This is going to be important to, like, future rants, probably. But, so... A big problem I have with Alterna is that a lot of the levels just feel like the first, like, half or the first third of a level in a different game, where they introduce a mechanic and, like, kind of start to evolve it, but then it just ends, and that's just it. And sometimes you get another level that feels like the second half of that level. So, like, okay, pacing-wise, maybe that's debatable, maybe that's subjective, maybe you like it being split into 2 levels, maybe you don't. But some of them just end. And this is one, okay, spinning platform. Like, already kind of a generic mechanic, right? We're not really, you know, pulling out all the stops here. It's just a rotating platform. And, okay, now we can, you know, we put enemies in here, and it changes how you use cover a little bit. Like, okay, this is kind of neat, right? Like, you can stealth around this guy, if I didn't suck. Like, okay, there's at least something going for that there. And then we go up here. And, okay, this is kind of just an Octo Commander for some reason. Not really, you know, I mean, I guess that's fine. Not everything has to use the gimmick, but, like, this is just kind of like a long stretch of nothing. Like, what is the pacing of this level? You just climb a ramp, kill one enemy, swim all the way over, climb a ramp. Like, I feel like I'm not doing anything. There's, like, and then, okay, we're just, like, on a spinning platform? And it's like, okay, like, sure, we're combining the Octo Sniper... Well, that was an Octo Commander, though. I was gonna say they're combining the mechanics, but they're not really, because that's a different enemy. And then the level's just over? Like, huh? Like, am I alone in this? Is this level not terrible? Like, I just feel like there's just nothing. It feels like they just, like... This is my problem with Alterna levels right here. It's like, it's like, go up a ramp, kill one enemy, go up a ramp, it just ends. And it's like, I feel like I'm crazy. Like, this is why I say Alterna is my least favorite single player, because so many levels are like that. And people, like, think I'm crazy when I say that. People act like it's, like, as good as Octo Expansion. Like, no, it is not. Yeah. Yeah, so they learned the wrong lesson from Octo Expansion. It's like, if you want to combine classic campaign levels and Octo Expansion style levels, that doesn't just mean you can make campaign levels and not finish them. Like, and that's just what these feel like to me. I'm glad to speak about this in detail, because I like, yeah, this is... Oh, this drives me insane. I mean, it's fair to say you don't like Octo Expansion. I don't know if you're necessarily saying this in, like, response to what I just said, but, like, Octo Expansion being too difficult, I think is fair. Like, I think that's a valid reason to not enjoy it. But, like, I still think the design of the levels... I don't know. I mean... I guess that, I mean, that's my own bias. I would rather play a hard game with good level design than an easy game that's just boring. And you know, that definitely is subjective. So that's valid, but I mean, for me, it's night and day. This is another one where I'm like, okay, we're using sponges, I guess, but we're kind of still just, like, killing enemies. Like, it's just weird how they de-emphasize platforming so much. Right? Like, it's just... I'm not even like, there's no jumps. There's like one jump in the last level. Here, we're climbing sponges, but like, I'm basically just like walking forward and pressing ZR. Like, the fact that we're using Bamboozler is really the only thing that carries this level. And again, so this is where, like, the Octo Expansion comparison, like, normally choosing a different weapon in Octo Expansion, like, means something, or, like, actually kind of alters how you play, but it's like, this level does not take advantage of the fact that I'm using a Bamboozler versus, you know, the shot versus, like, what was, like, dually sculptures? Like, why would you use a dually on this level? What? Like, what is this? Why? Also, yeah, it's like, they don't do anything with the sponges. Like, here, I guess, it's like the enemies can shoot the sponges and that gets rid of your cover. You know, not everyone's gonna hit all their Bamboozler shots like I just did and instantly win. Fair enough. But, I mean, that was the first time in the level. That was halfway through. Besides that, the sponges literally were just... I mean, this is just an inkable wall. Like, there's no difference in this being a sponge versus an inkable wall. They don't do anything with the actual gimmick of the level. Like, this is the first actual, like, challenge. This is the first thing in the level that requires me to use a brain cell. And it only really takes one. Also, yeah, the enemy variety is terrible. I mean, like, just look at this. We fought Octo Troopers this whole level, and there's, wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more? What the hell is this sponge for, anyway? Why is there cover off to the... Like, I just don't know what they're doing. Like, this just isn't fun to me. It's not just a difficulty thing anyway. Like, it's just a, you know, there's no evolution of the mechanic. Like, I mean, again, series veteran, that might be someone's first introduction to sponges. But even then, you barely learn anything about sponges. Like, compared to Splatoon 1's sponge level that came out 7 years before this, I just feel like that one's so much less interesting. So we can just avoid that ooze entirely, I think. Oh, hey, okay. Good level incoming. A short break from the misery. This level is, like, great. This is, like, one of the best in this game, I think. The Bing Bang level. Crab spotted, yeah. So, like, first, like, just look at this. Like, okay, like, some levels, I swear, just got twice the budget of other ones. Like, we have this big... I don't know if this is a unique asset, because I think these doors are used a few times, but, like, that looks, you know, this looks visually cool. It kind of fits in with, like, the cityscape skybox. You know, it's, And then there's this big, like, robot guy. And, like... It is a little Mario Maker-y, like, yeah, it's just like a robot made of crates and like assets, but like, you know, it contextualizes what you're doing a little bit. It's like, okay, yeah, you're fighting a robot, like it's a little like cheap, but it's cool. And you get some like crab platforming that has like different physics than normal. Like, I don't know why there wasn't more crab platforming. I feel like this is really fun. And you know, I mean, there I feel like you're intended to shred the shield like that even, which is kind of a unique way to fight those. Sorry, I was looking at chat, so I'm going through the level kind of slow. But yeah, like, the design of this robot is just really clever. The way the movements of the limbs, like, change to make platforms or make obstacles. It's just very satisfying design. Cool moment. I like that it has like a weird like rib cage. Yeah, I mean, I guess... Well, I don't know. I'd say I agree that it... But I feel like it's like you've defeated it, but haven't, like, killed it. Like, I like this... The fact that the arms rotate and then become, like, a new platform that's also more difficult, I think is really, really clever. So, for me, it makes up for it. You saw people talk about able levels and are like, okay, let's introduce cool gimmicks once and then never again. I mean... maybe. They should have had more cool gimmicks, though. There's so few Octo expansion levels that feel like filler to me, as opposed to this game where it's so many. Little Big Planet level, yeah, like that feels like a really good Mario Maker level. It feels like the mecha, like mecha Bowser. It wasn't Bowsette because it was a different thing than that, but there was some famous Mario Maker level that had like a mech and was cool that I'm trying to reference, but I forget the name of it. Okay, it is inkable. It's annoying, like, there aren't even, like, inkable walls here. It's so weird, just Splatoon 3's obsession with making walls not inkable. In the game where you ink things. Mecha Bowser from Galaxy? Maybe it could have inspired that. I think this is a Sardinium. Oh, right. Oh, no, it's just a ticket. Okay, I am gonna upgrade my gear. I just genuinely keep forgetting. So this... I'm sorry to nitpick literally everything, but I do also... I don't have enough, Oh, I have to unlock these, right? I'm stupid. Guess this? I don't like this upgrade system, because the way I normally like to play the game is to not upgrade the hero shot, but to upgrade other things. And... Actually, you don't technically... Oh, you have to upgrade the shot to get splat bombs, or you have to... No, you literally do. You have to upgrade the shot to get splat bombs, yeah, so that annoys me. I don't like skill trees where you're forced to get certain things before other things. It's just kind of annoying to me, because I don't want this. But I guess in this case I will upgrade the gun because I don't really care for this playthrough. And because it doesn't make much of a difference anyway. Okay. Oh, this one's pretty cool. I think there's like one part of this level that's really cool. Oh, see you, Space Boy. You're probably already gone, but I just saw that. You just noticed the skill tree looks like a squid? Yeah, I didn't notice for a while either. Is this the one where... Okay. I know there's one of these where you can get away with literally not using any ink, but it's not this one. Okay, so ink wheels... Ink wheels are another mechanic that just feel really underwhelming to me. I don't know. Oh, right, so this is like the only cool use of them, pretty much. I think I remember which one. So like, this is actually like a cool puzzle, and it being limited ink like makes you want to actually like, you know, think about how to approach this. We'll leave it as this. But yeah, this is genuinely a really cool thing. This level's pretty great. Almost got that perfect. Oh, I actually didn't even have to do that. I didn't have to kill the last guy. Oh yeah, some weapons, yeah, are... Well, everything is just its 1.0 version. Yeah, I mean, even that use of an ink wheel is kind of neat. I don't, just when they appear in other levels, I feel like they just don't really, like, do anything. That's pretty good, though. That's a solid level. It doesn't do a whole lot, but, you know, it's clever. I wish there were, like, more of the Switch puzzle, to be honest. But yeah, no, it doesn't feel so underwhelming. Like, I think that's a fair enough one. I'm definitely missing some other kettles, but alright, go ahead and do the boss pretty soon. Can I get there from here? Yeah. Oh, how do you get up there? See this site, if I actually have to ask the question, how do you get up there? I don't think I have to say that in any other site in the game. Maybe the last one, a little bit. But I like that this one actually requires some navigation. Do. Oh, is this the one where the maze, like, turns on its side? This one's cool. I mean, okay, the first part's kind of dumb because it's like, you don't have to navigate the maze because you can just swim on top of it. I'm not really sure what the idea is here. But I guess it's cool. There's nothing wrong with this. Like, it's still fun to go around and pop the enemies. I wish they weren't all still just the same Octotrooper. This would honestly be a good place for, like, Octoballs, I feel like. Or, like, literally anything else. Octolings, even. But yeah, then we get this. And this is really cool. I mean, this is straight out of a Mario Galaxy 2 level, but, you know, it's cool in both games, so it's fine. Like, this is genuinely a cool twist that works really well with Splatoon's movement. So, props to this level. They actually had an idea. Yeah, that probably is, yeah, they're probably meant to, like, you're meant to think you're getting away with it, and then they pull this on you. I feel like it would be like a, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm asking for too much at this point. I feel like it would be a really good, like, ending to a level. Like, I kind of wish there was a little bit more before you just go straight here. I'm actually getting stuck right now. I might be stupid. Oh, I have to get, like, around there, I think. Okay. But yeah. This being at, like, the end of, like, an Octo Valley style level would make it actually peak. I don't remember this being so, like, weird to navigate. I might have just been stupid. I think I was just stupid. That's fine. Yeah. That one's cool though. That one, yeah, respectable. For sure. Do. Let's get that balloon at some point. Oh, I forgot to read the Alterna log. We'll do that the end of the stream, I guess. I might, I don't know. I'm really thinking if I cut it off at Site 2 or 3. I can probably go through Site 3. Oh, we got a rail level. Okay. I mean, sure. I don't really have strong thoughts on these. Okay, one thing actually. I really dislike that they reused the crates and balloons from Kamaboko, because those weren't made by Octarians. Those were made by Tartar, so like there's absolutely no reason these crates should be here. I know it's just like a video gamey thing, but like they were introduced in Octo Expansion. You know, like they specifically made separate crates for Octo Expansion that weren't the normal ones. So then for Alterna to just reuse them is like, I mean, it's just kind of a downgrade. You know, just it would have been a nice attention to detail. This song is good, the Daft Punk song. This part is also kind of hard. I'm not sure I'm gonna first try this, especially not at this rate. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm dead. Oh, there are checkpoints. Okay. I feel like if this was Octo Expansion, that checkpoint would not be there. Yeah, I think it took me a few tries at least. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? I just keep running out of ink. I don't know how you... Okay. I just gotta remember to, like, refill ink between. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. We'll get to, it's like One-Way Trip to Target Town. Is that the one that everyone hates with the bow? That one's okay for me, I think. We'll see. Oh my god. Dude. I'm dead. Okay. Well, fair enough. This one's got a little bite to it. My gyro was off. Nice to... Oh, okay. Oh, well, that helps. Forgot I had that. So you get rings for that. That's nice. Okay. Wait, I can literally just burst bomb this, can't I? Oh, okay. Not quite as effective as I was hoping, but a little bit, maybe? Oh my god. Dude. I'm washed. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Okay, come on. Come on. There we go, man. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We lead in Cosmic in 2024. Don't do that. I want to hate on that level, but I might just be tired. I guess it is a silver kettle, so fair enough. I don't have a problem. I don't know. I definitely, Target Town took me a few tries, but I wouldn't say it's a bad level. I mean, obviously, I enjoy difficulty, so that would not be my criteria. Is there a kettle in there? There's not. Might just go to the boss. I'm genuinely like forgetting where the rest of the kettles even are. How many have I done? Okay, there's definitely more. I'm not gonna do the balloon yet because it's probably gonna be a lot easier once I clear out more ooze. Gave us a taste of Burst Bomb Bucket, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only... I don't know, I don't find... Oh, there... Okay, we'll do this one. I feel like the only boss that feels significantly different without upgrades is Big Man. Because he's actually slightly challenging with no upgrades and extremely easy with any upgrades, at least to the hero shot. But yeah, this level's weird. I don't know how to feel about this one. I just feel like lots of the ideas here, it's like, I guess this is like creative, but is it good? Like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird and like abstract. Like, you're just moving blocks to the end of the level, like, okay, I guess. And fighting, the enemy variety I'm really noticing now, dude. You genuinely just are constantly fighting Octotroopers. I know I'm gonna end up forgetting one. Is this not one? Yeah. Oh, there it is, right. I don't know, it's like, I don't expect there to be like story context for every Splatoon level, but I just feel like this is something that like, maybe actually would have been kind of cool if there was like, you know, if these weren't literally just like Mario Maker blocks, and we were like building a tower to like go somewhere for like a reason, and it wasn't, I don't know. It's just kind of boring. Oh, my bad. I do like this, they give you a spot to do a squid surge, like a really big squid surge. I'm surprised there weren't more things like this in the game, honestly, that were just like, wow, squid surge. It's weird that there's like pipes and decorations. Like the only decoration on this level is like if you look back, like you wouldn't even see those going through. I mean, there's all this stuff. I don't know, man. It's fine. Yeah, I know about the speedrun skip for that. I tried doing that in my first playthrough. I was trying so hard to cheese it by riding one of the blocks up, but I couldn't get it. But I was very happy when I saw that that is possible. I mean, yeah, I guess it's like a navigation puzzle, I guess, because you have to like look around. I don't know. I feel like they just don't do that much with it. I guess I can check. Like, okay, so I'm missing like one kettle probably. Oh, what? Could that just be the boss? Are there not more kettles here? It feels like there should be more kettles. Oh, okay. Oh, there's one right here. There you go. Soaker blocks. I love soaker blocks. Soaker blocks are one of the like 3 good ideas in the game. Yay. Oh wait, okay, here, I'll use this just for a different choice of weapon. Sorry, Soaker blocks are very cool. And I like the way they use them in the game. Which is something I cannot say about most mechanics in the game. They're very Mario. I mean, they're so Mario. They're taken straight out of like, you know, they're just the 3D world. You know, big question mark blocks that expand into like the big brown blocks, but you know, I will not complain. I am the 3D Mario guy, so if they're gonna put 3D Mario into my Splatoon, I mean that's what they've done from the very beginning, so I will not complain. Still wish we weren't just fighting Octotroopers, but at least we're fighting them with soaker blocks. And it's like, wow, they're platforms, so you can use them as cover. One of the things I really like about Small Fry, what I really like about soaker blocks, is that they actually interact with Small Fry in a really interesting way, which we will actually see in a later level and after Alterna. So not only did they make a good new mechanic that has like cool platforming potential, and you know, kind of has some combat uses like this, it actually interacts with Small Fry, which is like, you know, the new core mechanic that you have in the game that very few other mechanics actually interact with for some reason. Hello, Storm. How am I doing? Good right now, because we're playing the Soaker Block level, but I do get kind of bored playing Alterna, so... not vibing as hard as the Octo expansion stream, but generally pretty good. Which ones do you mean, like the ones you use as cover? I mean, they're definitely not new. The game Return of the Mammalians has not been touched since the launch of the game. Still just Octo Troopers. And they interact with enemy ink, right? And to me, they feel like an evolution of sponges. In a good way. Like, they are similar to sponges, but they're more versatile, and I think they use them in actually interesting ways. Music is good. We've talked a bit about the music. I do like Alterna music. It definitely doesn't beat Octo Expansion for me, just because it feels less like, you know, thematically tied together. But it's good. Yeah, they just work so well with Splatoon's core mechanics. Because, I mean, to me, I think what I'm realizing as we're going through this is, like, you know, I value platforming mechanics over combat mechanics. Especially if it's like a level is just like, use this weapon. It's like, that's not really doing anything for me, because, you know, I've played the weapons in multiplayer, so it's not like a new idea. And it's just something they ripped straight from multiplayer and put into single player. But platforming mechanics go so far because you can do so many interesting things if you have a new way to move around a level. So for me, soaker blocks are like, you know, huge. They're like a really significant new addition. I wish they appeared in more than like 3 levels, but also then, you know, I wouldn't want to get sick of them. I wouldn't want them to overuse them, so kind of fair enough. I don't need to upgrade again. Yeah, there's some soaker blocks in Side Order. I still think there's a lot of potential for them. I think they have not even really begun to tap into what soaker blocks can do. My favorite use of them is definitely after Alterna. But I definitely, if, you know, I wouldn't complain if they reappeared. Fry's Arena looks really, really cool, by the way. Again, like, I mean, there's not much context for most of the boss arenas in the series, so I wouldn't really, you know, it's just cool. It's just cool, and I will just enjoy it for being cool. But yeah, like the TVs and like the error messages and stuff. I never noticed this like splatter effect around the rim there. It's cool. But yeah. Fry fights. Not so fast. You're pretty tough, I can tell. How about this? You call it quits, join my crew, and we split the treasure. Ah, you want to resolve this Splatland style, huh? Fine by me. Dance battle to the death. It is funny that they're just like very ready to like actually kill people. The eel deal, Fry. Up, up, up. Let's dance. Oh yeah, so this is like a weird combination of like Octoma and Tentamissiles, I guess. This fight is like, it's good, I think. It's not one of my favorites, but it's pretty cool. Also, yeah, it's just like Octo Stomp Corpse, I guess. I think it's weird that like you shoot the eels and they just like go back to her automatically. I don't know. It feels a little less natural than like deflecting Octavio's fists. But it is cool that we get to fight Inklings and Octolings. Like, when I first did this, I was really excited about the idea of the bosses, like, having dialogue and, like, talking to us. And I would love that to be a trend that continues, that, like, every boss is, like, a character and not just, like, a giant robot thing. I guess in Side Order we did go back to robots, but, you know. I like the giant robot fights a lot, actually. You know, it would be nice to have like a story where the characters actually like make sense and are contextualized within the story and also talk to us. Also, I've seen some people really struggle with that phase. I don't know if that's just like the the not upgraded hero shot that makes it hard. I've never really understand how people, I feel like you have to, oh, she said what the fuck. I feel like you have to scrub really bad to take damage there, but I don't know, I've seen it happen. I think it's mostly just people who forgot to upgrade the gun. Oh, I was looking at chat. I was actually looking at chat. That's crazy. I feel like I always end up tanking that damage anyway, because it's kind of just easier. Oh, shoot. Is it really just gonna be the one? Oh no, you're coming back. Okay. That was easy. Sometimes that takes longer. Yeah, I like that they respawn, too. You're way stronger than you look. But you haven't heard the last of Deep Cut. Which, again, implies that they're gonna, like, do something at some point. Besides just showing up again. So, I talked about this in you know, my video on the story, but, like, I don't know. I get that, like, okay, the treasure is emitting the same signal as the Cuttlefish tracker. For some reason. I mean, like, I guess I can believe that, but, like, do we really... I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's so obvious. I guess you could make the argument that's obvious we're, like, building a blender in Octo Expansion, but I just feel like in this game it's like, it's so obvious we just need to go to the rocket. Like, I don't, it's more frustrating to me, because, like, just because we're building the blender, we still need the things to escape, right? Like, we're not gonna get out of here until we do what Tartar wants, one way or another. Whereas here, we don't know what we're building, but it's very obvious, like, okay, we're going to, you know, have to fight the other two members of Deep Cut, we're going to get this other thing that isn't Cuttlefish. Like, I just feel like it spoils, like, the kind of mystery of, like, oh, there's these 3 places Cuttlefish could be, but once you get to one, it's like, oh, so he's not going to be at the others. Like, there's no question about that. The reading was coming from this thing. Well, we fought for it, so nab it anyway. Also, okay, yeah, the fact that there's just these, like, parts that just conveniently... Like, the blender, as like, kind of weird and absurd as the blender is, it makes sense. Like, the blender actually has a purpose within Komboko, and it makes sense that Tartar would want us to collect it, and would, like, require us to do that, because it's a part of his trick to kill us. Whereas in Alterna, there's just conveniently these weird things that form a giant razor. I like this pose. I like this, like, screen, but, the whole context of the treasures and Deep Cut and everything is just doesn't work for me. I don't know, it doesn't feel thought out at all. Mr. Grizz play, but he's not though. I saw someone, by the way, in the comments. I was like, there was some guy who was like, you know, strongly disagreed with my takes on Return of the Mammalians, and left a lot of individual comments on the video. And I tried to respond. I tried to have an actual conversation. It was a little difficult trying to get through to this person. But at one point they tried justifying the existence of the razor by saying it makes sense that the razor's there because it's a place with a lot of hair. Which is maybe the worst possible attempt I've ever heard at an explanation for it. But yeah, we got this thing, but not Gramps. Okay, it's treasure. Also, okay. These radio conversations, like, yeah, they also don't matter at all in Splatoon 1 and 2. But this game feels like it's trying to be more ambitious. It feels like it's trying to actually tell a story. It's trying to have, like, a somewhat complex antagonist. And these radio conversations just tell us absolutely nothing. They do not matter at all. It's Gramps. Gramps, where are you? Callie, you're okay. Yeah, we should be asking if you're okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm in a dark room. I'll see if I can break out. Okay. We knew he was kidnapped, and now we know he's kidnapped. Cool. Cool information that we have just learned. Yeah. Anyway. We'll go ahead. Did I get a... Yeah, I got a Sardinium. It would be nice to have Splat Bombs. The weird thing about the upgrades in this game is that you only get it when you use the hero shot. So, like, you just don't get your subs if you choose the other thing, which, like, Makes sense, I guess, but it kind of makes the upgrades feel a lot less meaningful. I kind of like Ninja Squid, actually, because I sort of like the way swimming works better in Splatoon 1, where if you're in the ink at all, the enemies won't see you. So I actually do kind of like that. Okay. Anyway, I don't think you guys say anything really meaningful. Yeah, okay. We'll do Site 3. We'll do Site 3 and call it there. Yeah, again, at least let Octavio show up on the radio, right? Because that's like his whole thing is that he would always, you know, hack into the radio calls. Like, it would even make sense. Like, oh my god, that's actually a really good idea. They really should have at least done that. And then we could have gotten more like bickering between Cuttlefish and Octavio. God, I wish they did that. That would have been such an easy way to do it too. Like, that would have just added like a little bit more. Man. Also, can I be honest and just say that, like, the whole mechanic of Small Fry, like, finding something for you to dig up is just really annoying, because it's just never worth your time, ever, to actually go follow him and dig up whatever he's trying to get. Grisco Industries Occupational Safety Guidelines. Keep your eggs in the game. I'll try to grab one more, could end up with one less of you. Sea goes dark, tide goes up. ACB, always check the basket. Throw eggs, don't yoke around. Yeah, that's fine. It's kind of cute. I don't know. It doesn't really tell us anything. But yeah. It sounded like I was just being mean to chat. Oh, my bad. No, I mean, not actually my bad, but I don't know why I said that. But yeah, that's funny. We did not find Glenn Fiddler yet. I think I may have actually... I thought Glenn Fiddler... I thought Glenn Fiddler was scroll 7. I might have actually missed Glenn. I might have to clear the fuzzy ooze to get all the scrolls. Hopefully, yeah, I guess I should have enough. Yeah, I obviously would have enough because it's... I cleared all the kettles on the site. There we go. Egg throw mention, I guess, yeah. Okay, more deleting ooze with my eggs to get eggs. Very cool gameplay loop that definitely doesn't feel like a waste of time. Why is Glenn so scary looking? I don't think I've heard that before. I mean, he's a crab. I guess people thought he would be an antagonist, so maybe that's a popular sentiment. There we go. Okay. Like, so yeah, he's telling me to shoot here, and I shoot it, and it's just eggs. I guess it was like 100 eggs? It's like not insignificant, but like, I don't know, man. I almost feel like there should have been another currency, because like, eggs being the way you pay for tests, which also doesn't make sense, by the way. Because power eggs didn't exist at the time of the humans, so why does Orca know how to distribute power eggs? Like, I feel like they genuinely just didn't even think about that for 2 seconds. Loot anchors. Loot anchors can't have scrolls, right? Or no, can they? They can, I think. I'm genuinely just looking for Glenn right now. I'd never play Splatoon if he was an antagonist. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I have my whole, like, you know, defense of order as a character still cooking, so I don't know if that'll change people's opinion on him or not, but I don't know if there are people who, like, wanted Glenn to actually be the, like, I know people thought there was a chance that, like, they were actually hinting at that, and they definitely weren't ever, but, oh, there's this girl. Oh, this is the JoJo one, okay. For the Inklings and Octolings of the Splatlands, aggressive action is the best way to make a splash in the local scene. Youths will often dress themselves in the style of a delinquent or hooligan to intimidate peers during combative courtship rituals known as rumbles. So I've been told this is a JoJo reference. Wait, I don't think I ever noticed the just like dying Octotrooper or whatever's going on there. But yeah, this one is funny. Props for at least being funny. If you're not gonna give us like, I mean, I guess that's technically lore. But yeah, if you're not gonna give us like, you know, world building, at least give us funny things. Oh, got it, okay. Yeah, I feel like I can't provide a lot of super interesting commentary while doing this, to be honest, because I don't find it very interesting. I guess we don't need to, well, am I still missing? I'm missing a scroll, but it might be on the first site. I'm gonna not, like, worry about that for now. We're just gonna go ahead, take care of site 3. Okay, might as well get that, because that's gonna bother me. Oh, that's, okay, wow, that's literally just an engrail. I kinda have to go to the bathroom again. Okay, you guys look at the thinking man statue. Here, I'll get you a closer up view. There we go. Okay, you guys look at this while I go pee really quick. BRB. Hello, I'm back. Yeah, let's continue. I don't know. Running out of things. Well, I won't run out of things to say once we get into a level, because then I'll start ranting again. But yeah, the Alterna logs are good. Alterna lore is good. It's just the overall story and like Grizz stuff that I really don't like. And I don't like how the levels aren't really contextualized within the story. But like Alterna as a setting, I do like. So I've been talking about my level ranking thing, how I went through and ranked all of them. I haven't like turned this into a video yet, and I don't know when or if I will. This was my bottom 1 level. This one right here. Climbing the corporate splatter. So we can talk about positives. Yeah. I do like the human stuff a lot. But just purely talking about gameplay, you can use, I forgot you could use Hydra. Okay. To be fair, I forgot you could use Hydra. I don't know if that makes it better or worse, but this level, is just the most bland level in existence. I mean, you can see the whole thing from here. I mean, there's just nothing. There's just nothing happening. It's just Octotroopers. It's just nothing. Like, what is this level? What do they even take down Octarians and climb to the goal? Yeah, that's called the game of Splatoon. That's not a level theme. And it's just, they just put blocks random. Like, I just feel like they made this level with their eyes closed. I mean, at least dualies, I would say dualies make it more interesting, but they don't really, because they die so fast. They're weaker in this game, right? I swear they're, like, Octotroopers did not die this fast in the other games. I mean, an Inkstorm, like, I guess that's a mechanic that is being used by the game. Is it being used in a remotely interesting way? Not really. It just makes it easier to kill the enemies that already die in, like, a fourth of a second. Also, this launch pad, you don't have to kill those enemies. I tested this. You don't have to kill the enemies to spawn the launch pad in this level. You can literally just walk straight past them and just ignore everything. In fact, I'm just gonna do that for the rest of the level. I'm not even gonna bother killing them. This is like the only part where I'm like, oh, this is like kind of at least interesting terrain. You can do like a weird little shortcut, but like, I don't know, man. Like, that's it, and then it just ends. Like, that's it. I don't know. I don't know, man. I know I'm the ultimate hater, but that's seriously, I just think the worst level ever. Should have been subtitled Control C, Control, yeah. But yeah, that was genuinely my, like, bottom one in the level ranking, because there's no theme. The shortcuts, I feel like, are the only thing that, like, validates them. It's like, oh, the terrain is like this so you can, like, go through faster, but it's like, I don't know, man. I'd rather just actually have to play the game and it'd be fun. And people definitely talk about the OST. Okay, this level, the background of this level looks really fantastic. This is the one I was talking about earlier. Because there's like these weird like shards. I don't know. This is my favorite one that uses the city skybox. I don't know. I just those things especially. We need to get a little bit further in, I guess, to see. Also, I like the mechanic of you have to stand on the checkpoint for the fences to go down. I mean, it's just kind of a clever, you know, way to reuse assets, I guess, but it works well. I don't know. It makes sense. Yeah, this feels Octo expansion-esque, I feel like. I mean, that might just because it's, like, good. That might just because it's well designed. I think you aim for, like, this. Yes. I love that if you get it in one, you get the power egg pack, too. It's very, very satisfying to master this one. Oh, boy. That was not it. Shoot. Oh, that counted? Did that count as a one-shot? I guess because I didn't destroy any of the crates, as long as you destroy the crates in one. I always mess up the timing on this one. Oh, that was not it. That's why I always mess it up, because I always think you have to full charge for some reason. There we go. Okay, yeah, so no power eggs there, unfortunately. Nice. So that's a solid level. That, like, you know, pretty good, pretty good. Definitely very good for Alterna standards. Your stream lagged a lot? I don't think I dropped any frames, so it might have just been on your end. Your little buddy found something, and he yeah, okay. I kind of wish they, like, you know, fix that. It feels a little buggy that little buddy will just, like, run off into the water and die. Like, I don't know. It feels a little unpolished, to be honest. It's, like, it's funny, but it I don't know. It feels sort of badly designed. I mean, I've genuinely never skipped a level in Octo Expansion ever, except to, like, get footage of what skipping looks like for my thing where I talked about it. I don't know. I've never been tempted. I guess I won't be boring and use shot. Let's use novel nose. Why not? Oh, this is actually a fun level. I remember this one. But yeah, the skip feature doesn't bother me personally because I just don't use it. So I guess I've never been tempted by it. But yeah, I don't know. How much longer? Probably like an hour max. It might be shorter. I'm just gonna finish up Site 3 and then try to get all the scrolls and Alterna logs that I'm missing, maybe. Well, the Alterna logs, you know, I'll get just by finishing the site, so we'll see. Yeah, I think there's another level. This is for sure an instance where there's 2 levels with the same gimmick, and I honestly just wish they were one level. I think this could be combined with the other Zeppelin level to just make for one, like, actually good level, but I like this mechanic. I actually think this is a fun evolution. So, like, yeah, later they have the missiles flying at you. I guess this part's a little boring. Oh, there we go. They just take a second. I think this is fun. I like this part. Again, it's just any mechanic that introduces new platforming or traversal is just fun to me. And this game introduces 2. I guess if you count Zipcaster and Crab, then it's like 4. Okay, that was... Actually, remember, that's like a weirdly tight jump for this game. I remember during Splatoon 2, I was getting angry at how the game made you make like these tiny baby jumps. This game basically doesn't have to make you jump ever, which is worse. But sometimes for secrets, they ask you to do big jumps, which at least is better than nothing. I consider doing a private match? Oh, I could. I don't know. I've never been super into, like, viewer private battles. I normally, like, do open when I play with viewers, but we could at some point. I'd be more tempted if, you know, there were actually unique features in private battles, such as challenges, which they should have added, but yeah. Maybe at some point. I kind of just want to stream more single-player games, to be honest. Because, I don't know, it's been fun revisiting the Splatoon games. You know, people don't really come to me for multiplayer gameplay. So, like, I streamed a lot of Splatoon multiplayer in the past, but, like, I don't know how much more I necessarily want to do that. I can do it sometimes. And obviously, like, if a new game came out, I would do that, but, yeah, I don't know. I really like After Alterna. I wish more levels in the game were designed like After Alterna. Like, obviously not that, like, length. And maybe not always that difficulty, but, After Alterna, like, actually, you know, evolves mechanics and does interesting things with the stuff in the game, so I really like it. I plan to stream Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 when they come out. I don't really think I would ever stream Undertale or the other chapters. I was considering maybe doing a replay of Chapters 1 and 2, like, leading up to the new chapters coming out. But I don't know. Like, it's a very dialogue-heavy game, and I've already experienced the story, so, like, I don't know how interesting it would be, but we could see. This level's kind of neat. Not like my favorite Inkwell level, but, you know, kind of cool. I mean, I love Inner Agent 3. I like both of them for different reasons. For me, Inner Agent 3 was more satisfying, but after Alterna was cool. I wish you got more stuff like that. I said it before, but I really wish Side Order had some kind of secret boss or final challenge outside of just 8's Palette. I feel like this music doesn't really match the energy of the level. Okay, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I definitely would not call Inner Agent 3 unfair. It just has a learning curve. Yeah. I don't know, like, I just feel like the best... a lot of the, like, decent Alterna levels are like, okay, like, that's a level. It's fine, nothing wrong with it. But it's not like Octo Expansion where I'm always like, whoa. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying when I was playing it. I just think people want to play it passively, and you have to be aggressive. And kind of getting over that is the big thing that makes the fight hard for some people. And that's just from what I've observed. Probably not the case for everyone. Oh, there's a scroll. Is that Glenn? No. I think Glenn is the one we missed. Salmonids mature by returning to the waters where they were spawned. Sometimes, in very rare cases, a young salmonid will stray too far from their original school during a run and become lost. Their wandering quest to return home can lead to prolonged starvation and an insatiable appetite. So yeah, obviously that's supposed to explain Little Buddy, which it, like, kind of does. But doesn't really entirely, because it's still weird that an Inkling who plays Salmon Run is fine with having a salmonid friend. So, I don't know. I mean, I think Inner Agent 3 is just harder than, like, most stuff in any Nintendo game, so it kind of catches people off guard. Like, I think it's a big step up from really anything else, even in Octo Expansion. I'll go Squeezer. This is another level that's like, okay, it's a level. Like, it kind of just feels a lot less interesting to me than the Octo Expansion balloon popping things, because they always just spawn like 1 inch away. So it's like, you're not really, there's no like scramble to get to the next one. It's just like, you gotta be fast right away. It's like a different kind of challenge, I guess, but I don't know. Also, it's way too generous with the timer. 24 seconds? Really? I definitely think the timer should be tighter on that. I guess the Squiffer was an option, which would be harder, but I don't know. I do like the idea of Small Fry growing into a chum, but I also kind of like the idea of nothing about Return of the Mammalians ever being referenced again by the Splatoon story, so we'll see. I mean, of all things, I guess Small Fry would be fine. Also, this song is really good. Alterna sight music is really, really fantastic. That is like the one thing about this campaign I will absolutely... Okay, that's a little funny. I'll absolutely go give full marks to the sight music, because it is really, really fantastic at being atmospheric and good. There are walking around getting eggs. Like, this is another... I don't really get why Site 2 has, like, all of this cool platforming, and then this place is just, like... blocks. I don't know. There's just not really anything, like, interesting here. I mean, that's what they did in Splatoon 3, though. That's... if it's already a problem... I don't really get what you're saying. I mean, they clearly think they don't need to mention it now, so I don't know why they would feel obligated to mention it in the future. This is a cool one. I mean, it's a lot like the Octo expansion, like Crate Buster Station, but having it be like a conveyor belt is cool. I do like getting this secret too, or bonus at least. Spam harder? I didn't need to. I'm not very good at brush mashing. Where do we need to go? I think this is just like the path back. Okay, so this balloon... I went a whole rant about this balloon challenge in my level design video, which I don't think that was the best example in retrospect. I don't know. I don't really like that part of the video. That whole video I don't really like anymore, but, is this really where this one starts? I think there are two different balloon challenges here, unless I'm forgetting how this works. I honestly don't remember. Oh shoot. I may have screwed this up. I definitely screwed this up. Okay, fair enough. I'm honestly, a lot of people really want them to address the salmonid stuff, and I do too, but like, I'm weirdly doubtful about it. Because I feel like they're gonna want to keep doing... Like, I don't know, it's really hard to justify Salmon Run as a mode. Like, you need some really weird story context to justify continuing Salmon Run, while also having, like, a conclusion to Salmon Run. And I just don't know if they're going to do that. I also really don't want a Judd story. I really don't want the Judds to be, like, the focus. But, I mean, just saying side order isn't enough, though, like... Because it's, like, a part-time job that the Inklings work, and you keep the Salmonids at bay, you know, from Inkling Society, so now... Like, what? Why would they connect to the members? What's the point of killing the Gelatins if Order's not a threat? How does this work? I think I need to... I always forget how to do this for some reason. There we go. Nintendo is always gameplay first. People like Salmon Run way too much for them to just get rid of the mode. I mentioned Nick Wheels earlier, but yeah, this mechanic is just very underwhelming to me. It's just like you hit it and then it plays the game for you. Like, okay, it's basically just a curling bomb. sentient trout? I don't think making a different kind of fish really solves the issue. That would feel kind of silly. I don't know. I almost feel like the best case scenario is just like salmonids being controlled by something. That would feel kind of stupid after that's already happened 2 other times to different groups. So I don't know. I don't know. It's why I don't like thinking about it, because I don't really see a good answer. And there are just other stories they could tell that I would be more interested. Like, I don't know. The salmonid thing, it definitely feels like it has to, you know, reach some kind of breaking point. Because especially with, like, you know, the big run and grand run and everything with, like, the egg counter, like, it does feel like they're being, like, you know, I mean, they're like sentient creatures that are being killed so that their valuable, like, young children can, or, you know, their unborn children can be used for energy. Like, it's very messed up. It's very immoral, and, like, you know, that's what is interesting about it, but also it kind of feels, you know, a little weird to still be playing as these protagonists who are perfectly fine with that. It's gonna be a tough conversation, I think, to write. Like, I don't know, it's difficult to imagine how they're going to resolve that in a way that doesn't feel kind of weird. Also, yeah, the Saber Salmonids thing. As far as we know, that it just didn't amount to anything. I think that is, I guess, people mentioned earlier that, like, you know, some people think they had a different idea for Return of the Mammalians. I think that's probably the best thing that lends credence to that idea. Is that we were going to save the Salmonids, or, like, maybe the Salmonids would be more involved with the story because Mr. Grizz is the villain. It's hard to say for sure. But yeah, I mean, as far as we know, that just didn't turn out to mean anything. I mean, they look a little like salmon. I don't know. It's not the kind of thing I personally think too hard about. This is a cool balloon challenge. I like that it actually uses the ice mechanic because literally nothing else in the game does for some reason. There are lots of weird, like, one-off, like, cool ideas in this that just, like, there's just so many weird generic filler levels, and then there's lots of cool ideas that only get used once. It's so weird. Hungry blade, a sharp grin in a wild warrior's hand. It bites just once. A flash, a slash, a sudden shudder. Shredded remains sink down, down, down like falling snow. A fleeting flurry, brief as life itself, falls around my open parasol. That's a cool one. The deep cut, like, family scrolls are cool ones. Yeah, I have no idea why they did not use... They just programmed ice physics into the game and then just said, yeah, we don't actually need to use those in a level. Why would we? Am I missing one? I'm not, I think. Is that really all there is? Aura farming. I mean, I don't think supposedly they killed someone or something based off the poem, so I don't think it's just aura farming. Shout out to the blue rocket. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know. People like ice mechanics when they're used well. I don't think. Like, if there were just more, if there were, like, balloon challenges like this where you're, like, sliding with dash tracks, I mean, that's fun. It's basically just faster movement. I guess I'm not really sure what I'm looking for right now. Do I have... It looks like I'm probably missing one scroll here. I'm pretty sure the Glen Fiddler scroll is on Site 1. Oh, I don't need that. So I was gonna save it for last. I'm just kind of checking to see this area. It's on site 2? Okay. I mean, I think we're done here. So, I guess we can head back. I don't know this campaign like as well as the others, so I don't remember like how many kettles, but I'm pretty sure if you have the entire Alterna log like decoded, that means you've done all the kettles on the site. I'm just gonna clear the exit, because why not? I remember thinking this meant that one entire site was optional, but then it's not. Or, well, is it? No. Because there's the boss there. I guess 4 is optional, if you have enough eggs. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah, it's weird. I forgot how few were on Site 3. It's kind of strange. Okay. We will just... You actually can't open the menu while on the ice. Huh. That's funny. I wonder if that was like, there was some like momentum bug? I'm spamming X right now. Huh. That's really funny. Alright. Yeah, I think that's, well, that's not Whirlpool Tune, right? I think Whirlpool Tune is my favorite. I'd forget which song goes with which site. It's either, I think the Site 4 music is my favorite. Or, no, but the 5, it's 5 actually, 5. Sorry, I'm like forgetting which one is which in my head. Is this Glenn Fiddler? That is cards. Yeah, I still think the order of the sites is weird, because I just feel like this is, like, more complex. I don't know, you would think Site 3 would be, like, where, you know, like the second one, just based on the overworld. Oh, there we go, there's... Okay. Well, yeah, because the orange rocket is the actual Grizz rocket. It turns blue in the post-game. There he is. Glenn Fiddler himself. The lobby I built doesn't have a single standout feature, because everything in there is feature-worthy. If you don't have the greatest turf war experience ever, I'll eat the smaller of my 2 claws. Glenn Fiddler, President and CEO. The GOAT. No one ever uses this image of him, it's always this one. But yeah, that's literally all that Glenn Fiddler is that scroll. And for some reason, people were convinced he would be like the villain of Side Order from that. Well, I don't think the claw isn't... I don't think the claw is bleached. I think that's just what Fiddler crabs look like. I mean, I know there were a number of other things. It's like people thought the copy bot looked like Parallel Cannon, and he made the lobby, like, I guess, except it doesn't really look like that at all. And there were, like, the fish around it, like the skeleton fish, except it was Halloween, so they were just fish bones because it was Halloween. And yeah, the 3D I don't know. I just feel like the scrolls in the whole game are, like, more higher production value than, the previous game, so like having a 3D model is not like the craziest thing in the world. But yeah, let me quickly jump back to Site 1, because I'm still missing a scroll, I think. And then I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I read the Alterna logs that we've gotten so far, or should I just like read the whole thing before the final boss? Because I feel like it kind of flows better if you just read it at once, but I don't know. Like, the chat logs, I think, are nice to read, like, throughout the game, but, we'll see. Read the whole thing before the boss. That's what I'd rather do. I don't have enough eggs. Okay, I'm, like, actually running out of eggs. Is this only 100? I don't really know why... Well, because I want the scroll, I guess. I was gonna say, I don't know why I'm clearing this all out. I want to say this is nothing. I think this is literally nothing. I'm gonna use my eggs on it if I have enough. I don't have enough, that's 900. I think that literally does nothing for you, anyway. Okay. Well, I guess we'll call it there then. Well, some of you say... I'd rather read it before the boss. I think reading it in one session is better. But yeah. I will call it there. Hope you guys had fun. I know I'm obviously a lot more critical of this one, so it's less good vibes maybe. But I still find this stuff very interesting to talk about, and it is still like fun. Like, I still like Splatoon. I like the core gameplay of Splatoon enough that I like enjoy playing the game. I just, yeah, I get a lot more bored compared to the other campaigns. But next time we should be able to finish up sites 4, 5, and 6. Don't think that would be too tough to do in one stream. Do the ending. Probably do after Alterna. Might as well. And yeah, talk about all that story that I don't like. But yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll see you then. This has been Cosmic Farewell.